Okay. What's going on, Joey? Looks like YouTube chat's not coming through yet. That's okay. Let's get started. YouTube chat's sometimes slow. I'll make sure Caster Labs isn't broken. Shouldn't be. But sometimes it de-auths. I don't know why. No, it's still authenticated, so. Same thing I do every night. Try to take over the world, Pinky. No, we're working on the big huge map. So off stream I got this to kind of be created. It's just structure. It's not the actual finalized product. It is just structure, but it is kind of there now. So I know that I do like what that looks like and how that makes this look. And then we actually fixed a couple of things. So Mester did his work and then got the items working. The character is still kind of jacked up. There's nothing I can do about that. But the items are working. So that's good. All in all, it looks good. I'm excited with it. I don't know why the shadows jacked up. I gotta find out. I think that maybe they messed it up in 5 point whatever you want to call it. It's not supposed to be doing what it's doing like that. It's glitching. A lot of shadow artifacts, but hey, it is what it is. So we'll work from. Oh look, they're YouTube connected. Cool. So now it's working. But yeah, that's what we're working on tonight. We're working on getting this again. We got to get this harbor town. We got to get this harbor town looking amazing, you know. So that's the goal of tonight's stream. Get the harbor town looking amazing, and then once the harbor town is looking amazing, then we'll move into other areas. What? I didn't mean for that to go like nighttime. Whatever. Yeah, so we'll kind of focus on that. I don't know, might be a long stream. I don't know. I haven't decided what I want to do yet, so we'll see. Well, I know what I'm doing like stream-wise, but I don't know how long the stream is going to be or not going to be. I don't know that yet. But good to have you here either way. Buddy? Let me just make sure that's working. It should show up on the both of you two. Okay, it did. Good. It's working. How are you? What you been up to? Okay, let's throw this in here. Oh, nope. Get that up. I think it needs to be, what, 30, I think is what we said. Oh, damn, it's bigger than 30. What size is that? Oh, that's 40. Okay. So that's an 80 sized wall. I was not tracking that. I was not tracking that. Okay, let's put this underneath here. We need to center it as best as we can. Okay. What is it, 10? No, it's not. It's 2. No, it's not. Damn it, what is it? -5, maybe? -2. Ah, that's kind of weak. -4. Maybe it's -4. That's definitely stronger. Okay, so let's say it comes out 2, I think is what we did for the other one. Yeah. Might have been 3, to be honest. 2 might be a little weak. Okay. So that should have added that internal layer. It did, so that's cool. And that's the same style as here. What? I thought that was a bird for a second, and then I realized it was my mouse. I was like, what? What? I didn't make no birds. Where are the birds coming from? I realized, that's your mouse, bro. That's funny. We probably... grab this. Is that locked? Oh my god, it's locked. That's fine. I locked everything on purpose. That's why. Oh my god. Well, so my problem is my schedule at work has been a little chaotic the last couple of weeks, so I haven't been able to have a solid stream cycle. Like next week, I'm not gonna stream at all, because I'm gonna be at a conference and I can't I can't stream. I might be able to stream from my laptop, but to be honest, that would be atrocious. So I probably won't stream at all next week. I will be doing work. I'm just not gonna be streaming. Oh, excuse me. Cybersecurity. Yeah, I'm in cybersecurity. It's what I did for the Navy for 20 years. Wait, how am I missing walls? There we go. I was like, wait, how am I missing walls? I mean, I don't think I'm autistic. And no, Elon Musk does different things. I do security of networks. Elon Musk, I'm sure Elon Musk has cybersecurity under his belt. Like, that's one of the things he does, but I don't know. I guess maybe I could be autistic. I don't know. I doubt it, though. Okay. So last stream, we basically finished up this whole like interior thing. We made it look good, kind of organized it in the way that we wanted to organize it, and, you know, moving on with our life. This stream, we are going to be focusing on, again, kind of getting the other surrounding buildings and fleshing out what all this looks like. We're gonna have it's gonna be a longer stream. I don't know if it's gonna be 4 hours, but it might be 5. Who knows? We'll play it by ear and go from there. I do think some of the things that I need to change, we talked about this on the last stream. I need to differentiate this like blank wall up a little bit, and I think adding in this like arc style probably would do that. Maybe allow people to go inside of them. I think that would be kind of cool too. So I'll have to play with that, I think. So that way I can get that. And then this is going to be a sewer entrance. And then everything else up here was fine. This structure looked fine. Everything up here looked good. So you should make a grotto underneath those really tall buildings and add like slum housing under the bridge area. I don't know if I want slum housing here. Maybe. It's possible. So I am going to extend this down. This is going to extend down. So maybe there's a way to get inside and go up there. That is a possibility. I have thought about that, so that's a good idea. I don't know if I want slums at the bridge. Maybe. I haven't decided yet, but I do like how it looks. We're really close, you know, to getting this almost perfect. I really need to design the arena out. He's got me like 90% there or 80% there. This is a good block out of what it's going to look like. I just need to actually shape it, and then I need to figure out what I'm going to do with this area. I haven't decided this yet. Like, there's a whole section here I don't really know what to do with. I think I'm going to put this as a staging area or maybe like a gathering area. I was thinking about making this under area right here like a bathhouse or, you know, like a gather together type thing. So that's probably what I'll do for that one. And then up here, I think it would make sense if these were bathrooms or steam rooms or like a facility type thing that runs power or whatever else. This will be the temple. There you go. And then we'll have the interior gate with some more houses over here. And then I think I'll have like a couple of towers for guard towers. So it should be pretty quick. I'd say about another week, maybe at the most, for me to finalize out. Why am I missing? Yeah, I think it's about another week. That's true too. I mean, I could put some. I think I might put some homes here, but this is the quartermaster over here. Now I might. What I was thinking here is like some double decker homes, because that is kind of like the quartermaster area, and so here is kind of like your central area where everybody's talking and meeting and having a good old time and everything else. Then over here is where your quartermaster is, and there's going to be shops here too, because you want to have shops, you know, outside of the arena. And then you have your arena. I have to figure out how I want to do that though, because the villa is going to be up here and have an overlook. And basically I need to be able to, the champion lives up here and you're going to live up here. So you got to get down here to do your fight. And there's no entrance area for them or for you. So that part's a little confusing right now. I need to have that set up. On the main arena, we have 4 entrance areas. So over here is a preparatory area, and then you have your main entrance area. It's so funny. They definitely they messed something up with Lumen, because this did not used to light like this. I wonder if I turn on Nanite and then I turn on level architecture. Let me see if that does anything. No. Yeah, they effed up Nanite, bro. You got to get your popcorn and you can see your favorite gladiator get a head lobbed off. Yep, I mean that's definitely gonna happen. Yeah, they effed with Lumen, bro.
Stop mucking about and get over. I am not joking. Gladiator, don't make me punish you. Get over here now.
It's so jacked up. There's so much work I have to do.
Yeah, I am talking to you. Get over here.
Sounds good, Joey. I'm down about it.
Get over here now. Yeah, I am talking to you. Get over here.
Yeah, the arena's all jacked up. Everything's messed up right now. After we modified the character and changed everything, everything's all messed up. That's okay though. I don't know if that's what it is, man. I'm telling you, it's the lighting. Like, there's something wrong with the lighting. I did update UDS. So maybe UDS has a new setting that I need to tweak or something, but it did not look like this before. Especially like that. No, man, I'm getting effed up. So I have volumetric scattering intensity, but it's at 1. It's at the default setting. Like, that shouldn't be shadowing like it is. Yeah, I don't think it's that. It's the edges. In fact, I'm pretty sure if I go to my lumen setting and I go to my geometry normals or my geometry scene, there's probably leaking edges on the lumen mesh, if I had to guess. Yeah, see all the holes that exist? So there's a lot of holes that are happening, and there's a lot of shadowing and things like that that are happening. I'm probably gonna, I think the answer is I'm probably gonna have to separate the mesh out a lot more than I currently have. Maybe the new Lumen setup that they're using doesn't like combined meshes in the methodology that I have, and so it needs to be more broken down. I'm not really sure of that answer, but you can definitely see there's issues, and then that's what's causing the lumen issues. If I, turn my lumen back over to lit, I'm getting weird shadows where I shouldn't get shadows because lumen is not, it's not doing its thing right. So I'm gonna have to figure out what that is at some point. We're not doing it right now though. Let's go. Okay. We're going to finish up this harbor today. I got sidetracked talking about the cool arena. But I do need to design the arena out. And I think we said that this is going to be a garden. So I want to kind of get this fleshed out too and see. That way I can see how much I'm going to cut into this. Make that sewer entrance. Make a couple other things. So we'll play a couple things today, I'm sure. I want to see. This is the base wall. That's the tower, that's the wall, that's... Why is there a group for the wall? That's interesting. Okay. What's number 2? Oh, there's nothing in number 2. Okay. Where's the other thing then? Ooh. Damn. Damn. Okay, well, I got some problems now. It's none of those. Oh, maybe it's here. Yeah, okay, there we go. There we go. That's what I was looking for. Because I need to line it up. And then this needs to be on the center. I think it needs to be 20. Yeah, okay, there we go. And then that's going to be 40. Come on. Now, the question is how high. We can play with a couple of different heights and then go from there. Okay, so that's 2 by 2, and we're gonna get rid of all of this, so that way it has an interior. Link that. We link that. Okay, cool. I think that's reasonable height, right? I don't know. I guess we'll find out. F it, let's try and figure it out, right? That's how it's supposed to work. You just try it out, man, and then if it works, it works. So we'll grab this, do a cutout, and then let's see what this looks like. So we have floor tile. What do we call it? This is called floor tile edge 60 by 60 by 60. So this is the 60 by 60 by 800. We'll call this empty, or no, arch. I'm probably gonna rename all this. I don't really care right now. Okay, now the goal of this is to make something cool. So, what? Oh, damn it. There we go. Much better. Okay, now it has something that is stopping it from being successful. Let's do concrete. It is that. It is going to be a architecture. Hit yes. And complex is simple. Nice. Yeah, see how much cooler that is? But now we run into the problem where I don't have a top level. So I need to duplicate that, hide this, get rid of all of this. There's like no reason to have nanite on this. But hey, we got it because we're doing. That's what we're doing, okay? No, what? There we go. There we go. Okay. So now you have. Yeah, so now we have like a entrance thing. We're still gonna have a problem because I need to have one that's kind of steadfast and doesn't have that archway. But this, well, the reason why we did this is because now I can have an interior, or maybe we don't and we just leave it like that, or well, we make it a little bit more cleaned up, but it's like a pillar. No and yes. So, I mean, there's a couple of different vibes I'm going to go for. We're still going to keep the Roman architecture. I think that's an important factor. But I also do not want to restrict myself in the sense that I don't... I'm not adhering to any specific culture at this point. I'm kind of doing something that is interesting and that I think that the Romans who were playing with architecture might, you know, do. That's kind of what I'm doing. Kind of. Because I think if, again, we did this, then we could have some cool stuff in here and some cool shops. You can kind of come in here. There's some cool little arcs. This creates an interesting sight line. As I come over here, there will be shops inside. Yeah, right. I mean, that's a possibility too. Well, not here, but maybe up here. We are going to have Easter eggs. I think that's an important thing for sure. So now I just get all this cool space. Yeah, they did something with Lumen, man. F that, dude. I should not have that problem. Very, very annoying. That should be closed out. It's big enough. It should be closed out. There should be no reason why I have that problem. And if I extend it out, it doesn't make it any better. Yeah, they did something to Lumen, man. Fuck. Now I wanna revert backwards. Damn you, Unreal. It is what it is. Okay, so anyways, I was doing this to kind of show off how that, you know, we can have some interesting looks and feels. And I think this will create some nice sight lines. We'll have some really cool kind of viewpoints. Maybe even be able to come in here. There needs to be a prison, maybe for the bad people, or maybe that's where they hold all the slaves at. I don't really know yet. Maybe we can do that down here. But I do like it. Yeah, that looks good. I think that would be cool too, for sure. And yeah, I don't like when they change the name of the nodes either. I think they tried to do some optimization stuff, and there's probably something I need to go and click or turn on or whatever to get rid of it. I don't know what it is. Like, Lumen shouldn't be casting shadows on these because these have shadow casting turned off. That's another example. Like, that grass has shadows turned off. So why is a dynamic light casting shadows on them when it shouldn't? Like, those are not supposed to be casting shadows, but they are, as you can see. So I'm gonna there's some lighting stuff I'm definitely gonna have to deal with. Again, those, it's all turned off. Like I said, you can see shadows are now glitchy now. This is a new thing. I don't know what's going on. There's a bunch of new glitches, man. I'm telling you, they added it. It's new. Like, there's a whole bunch of new problems. Our character did not have these problems before. I never saw glitching shadows like that. And there's ghosting around the edges. Like, see those that ghosting of the light? Damn, dude, did they F up the entire rendering pipeline? Bro, I'm gonna be pissed. They're like, revert me backwards. We're going backwards, boys. I don't even think I can go backwards. Yeah, no, that mesh has it turned off, man. You can't. I mean, I guess you could, but you shouldn't override the mesh setting. If I go to the mesh, let's see, that's under foliage, and then that's under grass. Let's do clover patch 3. Oh no, this is her clover patch. That's not mine. Yeah, that's her clover patch. That's not mine. Crap. What did I call it? Oh, grass patch. Okay, there we go. Yeah, so in the LOD settings, let's go to LOD 0. It's visible and ray tracing. It does affect the distance fields, but it does not have shadows that it gets grabbed on. And then LOD 1, it does cast a shadow. What the fuck? LOD 2. The fuck, dude? I guess I only did it for one LOD. Okay, well, that's problem number 1. Good thing we found that, I guess. That doesn't solve my edge problem. I still have shadows being cast, but let's go try. Maybe it's on grass patch medium, maybe? Let's go LOD 0, LOD 1, LOD 2. Grass patch small. This is the only one left. LOD 0. LOD 1. LOD 2. Bulk edit worked sometimes, but it's not for every setting. Nope, it's still cast shadows. I have been vindicated. But it could be on the grass patch. So let's check this. Fuck, I have cast shadow turned on. No, still not me. Haha. Nope, it's not a skill issue. Get effed, okay? All of it's all off. Yo, I find engine issues all the time, okay? Don't even start with me. I'm like a bug finding master. That's so dumb, dude. Like I said, you go out here, no problem. Everything good. So the only thing I can think of for the last like control of this, so we fixed everything. We fixed the grass type, we fixed all of this. There is in the landscape layer, there is a grass layer. So it could be in here. No. So on that one, it's all off. And it's all off here. So I didn't do it. Have you turned shadows off from your skylight? Wait, why would I do that? No, I want shadows on my skylight. What? No, get out of here. I'm not doing that. I mean, I can do it to test it, if that's what you're trying to do. But I can tell you right now that those shadows are not from the skylight. Here, look, I'll show you how I know. Notice how the shadows move? It's based off of the dynamic light. But, I mean, I can, again, all I gotta do is turn it to nighttime. Now there's no shadows. Blam! I'm still getting shadows. I mean, I can turn on daytime. And I can turn on, let me grab my UDS. Where's my ultra dynamic sky? Ultra dynamic sky. Hello. Cast shadows. Okay, so there's a bunch of shadow settings here. And I turn off sun cast shadows. Well, now that's not going to help me because if the sun doesn't cast shadows, I don't get any interior shadows. So that's not, it technically solves the problem, but it doesn't really solve my problem. What I could test is I could test this, right? So I have my point light, and then I could turn off cast shadows here, and then that proves my point. Yeah, no, that's not the issue. It's I know what you're talking about. You can see it. It's related to the cast shadows. Now, ooh, see, I can turn off cast dynamic shadow. What about volumetric shadow? Can I turn that off? What is a deep shadow? I don't even, there's a whole new type of shadow now. Ooh, boy. What's volumetric? Whether the light shadow volumetric fog. Oh, that's kind of cool. I didn't know that. I don't want to do that because then the player runs in there and then it's not dynamic. I don't know. We'll have to play with it. There's some things. There's some lighting stuff I'm gonna have to do at some point when I do my lighting pass. We're not there yet. We gotta make things look pretty first, okay? So now I have this cool little, hallway that we can kind of see things on either side while we're still going here. Still giving us that nice feel. I'm gonna use this to cheat. Okay. Why is that up there? Oh, because I'm streaming. That's kind of cool. I guess I gotta turn off the Discord UI. Let's just do this. And it's a walkway, so probably have to be 4. Damn, that sucks. Let's check this out real quick. There we go. Hey Chelsea, how are you going? I'm working on my engine, or not engine, my game. We're making a villa. Making a villa for my Gladiator game. How are you? Just working on the game. You know, grinding. Sub and like to people with one view. Aw, that's too kind. Thanks. Well, I have one view, so thank you for being that one viewer. Too kind. Scholar and a gentleman, or maybe you're a lady. Either way, I appreciate it. Don't worry. I'll have two watchers at some point in my life. I don't know when, but it'll happen. And when it does, maybe you'll be there. Ah, well, cool. Well, I appreciate it. I mean, it doesn't matter. You could be whatever you want to be. You just never know. That name comes in both forms. You're like, dang it. I think I had a Robin the other day, and I totally butchered that one. I was like, son of a biscuit. Just how it goes. Name of the game. Huh! I got 3 viewers. How? Holy scrap-a-daddle. I do have 3 viewers. Hello, 3 viewers. I try not to pay attention to my viewer count. If I get cool people, then I get cool people. If I don't get cool people, well, you know, crap happens. Either way, I'm here to make my game. And I stream because it holds me, you know, it holds me accountable. Yes, hearts to everybody. Hearts, love and joy. Thanks for being here. Okay, let's do this. Aw, well, you know what? That's okay. You were always my first. Is this the walkway arch? I don't know. I can't remember. Yeah, it was. Okay, cool. So, yeah, now we have this nice walkway arch. Yeah, that's a really good structure. Yeah, and it's awesome to be the first, because then you could be like, yo, I was the first. I was there when he wasn't cool. Before all the hype. I was the original OG. Nice. Look at that. See, it's just changes, you know. It changes like the wind. Sometimes they're there, sometimes they're not. That's why you can't pay attention. You just gotta do you. And if you're successful, then cool. And if you're not, well, just keep grinding until you are. That's what we do. Because one day, I will be. And they're all gonna wish that they could say that they were the first, but you're the only one who can say that. Correct. There's only gonna be one you. Now there could be a Harris. Harris shows up every now and again. You gotta be mindful when Harris shows up. Oh, cool. Are you learning game dev, or you just like to watch people's stuff? Well, that's nice. My my little niece and nephew. My niece and nephew are 11. They were here and they got to see the game I was making. They were all excited. I was like, okay. And then my 4-year-old niece tried playing my game and she couldn't. She's like, how do I do it? I was like, I'm not explaining this to a 4-year-old. If we're talking about the game that I'm currently playing and working on, this is called Imperium. If we're talking about the game that I showed them, it's called The Gift. It needs a new name because there's already a game out that's called The Gift. So I can't use that name. The Gift is free. This one will cost money, yes. Damn, how did I make them off? There's no way they're off. Oh, they are off. Holy snap crackle pooples. We're off by a whole one. That's not gonna be fun. But good thing I don't like this structure is not solid. I don't have to like stick to it just yet. Yeah, the what do you want to call it? The Gift is free. But you have to have a kind of a good computer to play it. That was what my cousins and nieces said. They were like, we tried playing your game and it was really good on your computer, but when we played it on our computer, it was very laggy. I was like, sorry. Which makes sense. RoboDash is an old game. Who the heck downloaded that? Yeah, that's the Gift game. I need to make a video for that one. Maybe that's what I'll do tonight later. Yeah, no worries, no worries. You're fine. What's your favorite type of game? Well, $400 is expensive for an 11-year-old. Yes, I would agree. I remember when I was 11 and I wanted... What was that? What was the game out when I was 11? I think it was Nintendo? It was either Nintendo or Sega. Why is this lagging? Holy crap, holy. This is like lagging. Nice, that's awesome. Well, you have a cool dad. You should tell him thank you. Like, Dad, you're cool. Did it just crash? It does not look like that went through. Okay. Why did that crash? Oh, it didn't crash. It just minimized. That's weird. That was really weird. Okay, let's take a look. So this looks okay. I don't know if I like how much that extends out, but I get the point. Nice. That's awesome. I'm sure your dad's excited. Okay. It's so weird that it casts shadows like that. Whatever, I'm not gonna complain. No complaints. Okay, it looks good. It's probably too big. My mom is mean to my family and says bad stuff. Oh, sorry to hear that. It happens. Those situations are never easy for anybody, and there's a lot of emotions involved. Well, understandable. That is understandable. Okay, we need to... Is it midnight? No, yeah, it is midnight. That's why I'm yawning. Let's change up music. I think we're close. No, we're not close. We still have more. I'm gonna let it keep going, I guess. Okay, let's try that. And my stepmother is so nice, I could never get a better stepmother. Well, that's also good too. Blended families are cool. Okay, so that looks good. Everything matches. Everything lines up. I think I want this to be a little bit more hefty. See how these are nice and big and thick? I think the same. I mean, we have the same thing for here. So I'll probably try to aim for the same thing for this. Again, we just kind of cheated it for right now so that I can put it in there and then say I have nice little space. It's gonna need a nice corner too, to make it look good. And then I need to get these. I have an older sister. She gives me stuff, and I love her because of that. And also I love because she's nice. Well, that's good. I'm happy for you. It sounds like you got a lot of good things going for you. And it sounds like you're pretty thankful, which means it sounds like you're a pretty good kid. Somebody taught you right. Well, something you'll learn the older you get is that family's family. Sometimes you don't get to pick them. Sometimes you do. If you can pick them, cool. If you can't pick them, well, try to find the good in them. Sometimes it exists. Sometimes it's hidden. Okay, so I really like how this looks. I don't know if I want to have this whole thing over here be the... I don't know. Let's take a look. Let's see. For them, want a Bible word? Yeah, of course. What do you got? I might be overusing that. I don't know yet. We'll have to see. Okay, so let's group that. I'm assuming you're looking for one, which is cool, by the way. What do you got for me? Doing what Jesus teaches us will keep us safe. Matthew 7:24-25. Interesting. Why do you like that one? Hmm. That's cool. Well, why do you like it? Or that's just one that you, maybe that's one that you, yeah, your class just said, so you had it on hand. This is true. Having a good belief structure and following the ways of Jesus will lead to everlasting life. This is correct. Do you enjoy Bible study? What's your favorite parable? So Jesus teaches in parables. Basically, parables are like, it's like a riddle, but it's not really a riddle. It's in veiled or hidden like stories, and the stories have different meanings than what they actually say, or not different, but deeper meanings than what they actually say. So those are called parables. So another way of asking that would be, what's your favorite lesson from Jesus? Well, I mean, that's a good thing. It's good to like as much as you possibly can. There's nothing wrong with that at all, for sure. The fact that you're studying and learning about the Bible itself is pretty cool. Yay, 4 viewers. Hello, viewers. Like I said, I'm really honestly just here to make my game, you know? If I get more viewers, cool. If I get none, I am blessed either way. The fact that I'm here, not, you know, in some crazy, dingy prison somewhere, and I get to make my own game, that's pretty cool. Yeah, no worries. No worries. can't do it there. Can I do it here? Okay, I did both of those. I've been here since 11:23. Well, I appreciate all of your time. If you've got to go, I understand that too. Oh, I just hit the microphone. Knew that was gonna happen. Hopefully it's back in a good spot. It looks like it is. Okay, let's check it out. No worries. You don't have to be sorry. Have fun. Thank you for showing up. Have a wonderful rest of your day and sharing your blessings. Whatever you do, don't stop that part. You have certainly shared the everlasting light. Yes, I appreciate that. Thank you very much, and hopefully God will bless you. Hey, Kevin, how's it going? How are you? I am well. Thank you for asking. Just working on my Gladiator game. Trying to figure out the structure of how I want this level to look. It's looking okay for the most part, but I think I need to get a couple more things in. I'm working on the little side terraces and everything right now, so we'll see how that goes. Your name says GameDev, so I'm assuming you're making stuff. I've been working on this project for technically a year and some change. I think we're almost at 2 years now. Well, no, we're not. We're at like a year and a couple of months. Oh, fly down, kid, silly boy. Here we go. Yeah, that looks good. Are you making games? And if so, are you using Unreal? Yeah, right? Budget Superman. He can fly like Superman too, like. Yeah, I'm currently working on a multiplayer survivor game in Unreal Engine. Awesome. Very cool. How long have you been working on your game? Look at that flight. Oh, I took the wrong arc. It looks good though. I like how open it is. Again, I probably would block off maybe a couple of these so not all of them are open, and we can put some cool stuff. Full time, close to 4 months now. Awesome. Well, that's cool. You want to share the link to it? I'd love to take a look at it. I think I like how that looks. Okay, so I need to make that lip come out because it can't be like dead even like it is right now, but for this dev process, that's fine. Any public demo place to look at it. Okay, well, that's cool. No worries. Yeah, I like the way that looks. I might wall off some of it. Lightning, you like Game Jolt. Why? What is it with you and Game Jolt? Do they pay you? Do you have stock in Game Jolt? Okay, so I worked on BioShock. Well, I guess that makes sense. Okay, so do we... Maybe we cap it. Hey, I got you. So, do I want them coming in from here? Probably not. Yeah, so let's close that up. We got a couple of nice walls, couple of nice openings. We blocked off this, making this separated. We added a cool little path here, maybe, so you can get inside. I'll probably block this off too, so that way that's not like the way it is. There's one door here. Think of Game Jolt as your Instagram or Twitter, but for your game. I don't know. I went there. I wasn't impressed. Well, I'll definitely give it another look. Okay, it's looking good. I like it. I like where it's going. Yeah, it looks good. We need to get this house over here done. I take people for what they say when they say it. You never know, man. Maybe you had an uncle or something that let you work on BioShock. And I'm over here like, you didn't work on BioShock? And you're like, well, technically, my name is in the credits. And then you send me a link to the credits. And I'm like, well, I guess you worked on BioShock. You never know, man. I just take you free word. Take you for what you say. What does it harm me if you did or didn't? Well, doesn't hurt me any. Okay, we really need to get this figured out because it's effing with my flow. We figured this out. I really like how this house turned out. So I think having another house structure, very similar, or you know, maybe even a little bit tweaked is good. And then I want to get this tower figured out. So that way I can have that. I know this is going to go down further, so I'm going to have to create something for that. Or I'm going to have to use these like little side brick blocks that I've created to kind of do the same thing. So that way it has like a panel or something to sit on, and so it has a similar structure. Then I really need to figure out what this interior looks like here for these buildings too, because again, these are houses, you know, and I want you to be able to walk from the top of this house to the top of that house, and you know, they get to see all the cool things. And so if this was the bathhouse, right, then we'd have to have some kind of cool little bath inside here. Maybe we could do that. Maybe that's where the pipes are. The pipes from the pooper there. Or maybe they from here come down or whatever, and they come down from the roof. I don't know. We'll have to see. I do like how everything's kind of working. And I think once we get some ivy, no, thank you, Pushy. I appreciate it though. You're looking out for me, and that's cute, but no. Bye, Pushy. Bye. Sorry. Poor little Pushy. He was just trying to be pushy. Kevin the Game Dev, thank you for the follow. I don't have alerts on right now. I'm in the process of updating my stream deck, so I do appreciate the follow. Scholar and a gentleman, or perhaps your lady, either way, hello and welcome to the Pig Nation. And the reason why it's Pig Nation is because I was used to make a farming game a long time ago. Good old days. I really like the art deco direction of BioShock, and with the level design skills that I have, I've been able to make stylized things or even realistic things. I feel like it would be, it would have been a very fun something. You got cut off. I think so too. BioShock is cool. I never played it. I just watched the videos. I never played it myself. There's a couple of games. Is this a Sims Rome edition? Pretty much, bro. How are you, Unreal? Hopefully your stream went well. Or maybe you're still streaming. I don't know. I've done that before too. I jumped into somebody else's stream while I was streaming. Who knows? This is Roblox, okay? This is my Roblox map. I've been working on it for it's a Roblox mod, bro. Lay off of me. Oh, wow. Hey, welcome back, Chelsea. How are you? Hopefully you spread joy and cheer to other people. Okay, I'm gonna deco just a little bit because I want to see if I can get this looking the way I'm thinking in my head. So let's use the Poly Ancient Empire Rome crap. Chocolate cake is very good at spreading joy. Give a piece of cake to anybody and they will love it unless they're lactose intolerant, then they'll just die. I didn't have a believer, sadly. Then he cursed me out. Aww. Well, you know, the sad part about that is there are lots of people who don't understand the biblical requirements of the world, and the demons that they deal with manifest when you try to do that. It's okay. Don't let it stop you. Just be you. That's all that matters. That's all you can do. My my internet is very bad now. Why? Oh, well, yeah, because you're at your mom's. Okay, so this is a public pooper. You gotta sit down here. People often love to hear the love of Christ, but refuse to hear the roles in which he sets for you to follow. The true test of one's relationship with Christ is living in the life that he tells you to. Well, that's true too. Our friend Chelsea is 11, so I'm not sure that Chelsea's necessarily living the life of Christ just yet. Maybe. Children are afforded the innocence. What? Why is that black? Yeah, don't we all? Those were much simpler times, that is for sure. I love him and believe him and God, and I believe that I will have everlasting life in heaven with God and Jesus. Well, that's good. Those are good things to feel. And good things to think. You're on the right path. Is that scale? I think it is scale. Okay, cool. Yeah, there we go. When you're older, a good book to learn how to defend your faith is called Kingdom of the Cults and Treachery, and it teaches you the fallacies of the world and other religions. I've never read that one, but there's a lot of good stuff out there for sure. Ask away, my friend. What you got? Particularly how to defend your faith against religious like Mormonism and other religions. Nice. You said you have a phone number. Don't share your phone number, please. Outside of working on my game. No, don't share it. You can send me a private. No, don't share your phone number. This is like live, bro. It's like live. You don't want to share your phone number. You're gonna create problems. If somebody else sees it and then writes it down and then tries to call you or something, that's not good. You don't want that, do you? You want randos calling you? You're gonna get in trouble. You don't want randos calling you. Yeah, no, don't share phone numbers. No, you good. You good. How do you put it in private to only you? I mean, so can I ask what the intention is? And yeah, there are a lot like so many messed up people. It's not even funny. So many messed up people. You shouldn't be sharing your number at all. Like, legitimately. Like, you don't know anybody, man. Like, you gotta be careful with that crap. Are you in trouble? Do you need help or something? Ayush! What's up? How are you? Oh, okay. Well, that's good then. Yeah, I wouldn't share your number if you're in trouble or something. Call 911. If you're not in trouble, then yeah, don't share your number. It's not good. There's a lot of predators on the internet. Like a lot of predators on the internet. I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm over here chilling. I'm over here making Roman like buildings and cities and stuff for my Roman game. We're making an island. We're doing some cool stuff with it. You can also go to your teacher and they can contact child services for you. That's also true. I don't think child services is available at 12:21 in the morning. I might have the body of 11-year-old. Wait, what? I don't know what that means. Are you not? You're not mentally 11-year-old? Is that what you're trying to say? Like you're actually 42 years old, but you're 11-year-old in body only? I'm confused. I'm so confused. This taking a dark turn. But I still can hurt feeling. Well, I mean that's true. I don't want you to hurt anybody's feelings. Why would you do that? Okay, it's looking good. I like it. Looking good. Just imagine this is a grown man. I mean, it might be. I don't know. I know, but if they hurt mine first, they will face the consequences. Is that what Jesus teaches you? You said you read the Bible and you love Jesus. What does Jesus say about those who hurt you? Yeah, I like this a lot. This is we got some good stuff going. Obviously, these benches are too small and crappy. We need way better benches than those crappy benches. Those benches suck. Look at how tiny those benches are, bro. Like, what the heck? Okay. Yeah, these are like crappy benches, bro. Like, what the F? So let's say they're 2 in length. And their height should be like 1.5 maybe. A little bit better, I guess. And maybe 2 flat. Ooh, damn, those are putting some butt cheeks on that. 1.5 maybe? Yeah, let's try that. Well, I can tell you that Jesus has very specific teachings on how we're supposed to deal with conflict. You said you were reading the book of Matthew. If you have your Bible, you can always go to the book of Matthew and you can learn. The book of Matthew is it's a pretty easy read and it's very detailed. Especially if you're in ESV, English Standard Version, I think is what it's called. Yeah, those look good. Okay, I kind of like where this is going. Where's Mr. Major Loads? I'll be like, I'm gonna put gold in here. He's gonna be like, gold? Let's go. Yeah, well, it's not supposed to be like this, but it's because we broke it. It's actually, they're supposed to be, here, I can show you. Dun, 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 dun. Save. I probably should just fix it. Like, it wouldn't be hard to do. Man, I was trying to avoid it, but I guess maybe I can do it. I don't know. Anyways, let's save this. I've got to go to my thingy, put it Y up. There we go. This is the flying animation. Wow, look at that, Superman. He can be like Superman. But no, his the walk animation's pretty chill, and the run is pretty nice. And then there's the jump. There's the in the air. That's the swimming animation. And there's your idle. I should just like export all these real quick. What is this called? Root? It is called root. Oh, it's gonna change everything. This is not a horror game. Got some like stylized dust particles when he runs and make it like he's running. Sound is almost like a squishy sound. I don't know if I want to do squishy, but there will be dust particles. We are using physics-based materials, so that's actually how we're using PCG, and that's actually how I'm leveraging PCG. That allows me to have some really cool kind of connectivity and with what I'm doing and how I'm doing it. So basically, when it's dirt, it'll know that it's dirt. When it is grass, it'll know it's grass. So we can have grass particles fall up from his feet, or dirt, or if he's in the sand, it'll do that. It already it was working before. I have a lot of things that I have to reconnect, but when you were in the water, it would kick up water and splash up water. It's not doing that right now because this is the new character, and the new character doesn't have any of those things tied into it. And then we had the bushes actually reacting as well. They're not reacting right now because we turned them off. But the Prismatical plugin just updated, so we should be able to fix that. What is this? Oh, okay, that's his stuff. I was like, what the F is that? Yeah. We're gonna have swimming. I paid for the super expensive. Yeah, of course I can pray for you. What do you need? What prayer do you need? I paid for the super expensive water flux, man. Of course I'm gonna have swimming. Right now we have floating. Where's Mester's World? I'll show you. So you're not going to see the animation because, again, the animations are broke right now. My throat is killing me from the inside out, and my nose is suffice and runny, and it's all kinds of things. Hey, well, it's good to hear, Unreal. Well, so, Chelsea, what I would suggest you do is you can pray to Jesus and ask for him to heal your heart and your mind and your body and your soul. He says many times throughout the Bible that if you believe, you can do anything. He says that if you have the belief of a mustard seed, you can move mountains, which suggests, and some people believe that means you can also self-heal. There's a placebo effect that happens from that too, from, just being good, good-minded in thought. But yeah, definitely can. So what I would say is bow your head and pray to Jesus and say, "Dear Lord, can you please help me? I'm struggling with this affliction, and I would love to have you help me through this." Whether he's going to heal you or not, that's kind of different. But you could say, I'm asking for the strength to endure that which you're testing me with right now. It would be cool if you had like a fire island and a different ether exit in those harsh climates. We might. I don't know yet. I got to think about what that looks like. Yeah, no, and I'll pray too. I'll pray for you as well too. You'll get better. When I was on my flight, back from New York. I don't remember if it was back from New York, but I had a little bit of a stuffy nose and I was sick. And the pressurization in the cabin, I'm not lying to you, I thought my head was going to explode. I legitimately thought my head was going to explode. And right there, I just started praying to Jesus. I was like, "Dear Lord Jesus, please help me in this moment. This pain is unbearable. I don't want to die right now. I don't want my head exploding on everybody. Whatever and however you can do, please, Lord, help me through this and let me get through this, okay?" And I'm not, maybe, again, people will say many different things, but I can tell you that the pressure went away and I felt better. Yeah, of course, Chelsea. Ginger helps. Hot spicy ramen. Those things all do help. Whenever I was sick, I got a Thai massage. And I don't know what it is, but the Thai massage, like the way that it works and whatever they do to your sinuses, it cleared it out every single time. I have no clue what they do. But this is showing the items. They are working. This is the new belt that I just created. I remember one time when I called out Jesus, this guy was choking me, and there was a bright light behind me, blinded me and him, and then when I opened my eyes, I was standing up, and the guy was on the floor. That's kind of cool. Was it a policeman with a light? Shut up. Nobody's talking to you, Unreal. In my boat. I'm gonna get on my boat because you're being mean. I'm gonna go to a different island where you don't exist. My boat's bringing me back to land. Be like, "You're going back to land, boy." Be like, "No." Anyways, okay. I was just showing off the water stuff. Back to work. We got to get back to work. I got crap to do. Nice. Well, let's hope that it gets better, okay? I can pray for you too. Dear Lord Jesus, let's I'll do it here, okay? Yeah, God does have your back. Dear Heavenly Father, I hope that you can help Chelsea through, you said he, right? His current problems and issues and concerns. Help him as he processes this sickness and this illness. Help him to endure that which he must so that way he can get better. We ask that you have angels around him, helping him and supporting him. In your name we pray. Amen. How about that? You need to get the Twitch chat on vertical. Why do I need Twitch chat? Nobody's talking on Twitch, bro. The only person talking is where'd he go? He left. It was Kevin, the game dev, but I think our biblical teachings, he was like, I'm out. He's like, I ain't about this. Hey, go, enjoy, go to bed, sleep, rest well, okay? Have fun. I mean, I can put it on there. It's just cloning a source. But the question again, I don't have enough people talking on Twitch right now. Everybody's on YouTube. I can already see that. Sometimes there's unexplained phenomenon that occurred specifically in hospitals where doctors haven't been able to explain. I will call. I will. Can you have a stream tomorrow? I try to stream every single day. It doesn't always happen, but yeah, I should be streaming tomorrow. If you liked, followed, and everything else, you'll definitely see me. Was gone, so there is definitely a procedure for, was gone, comma, so there is definitely a precedence for unexplained phenomena. Yeah, definitely. I mean, people have had miraculous healings all over the place. I mean, it's just, there's lots and lots and lots of cases of those things. Have fun, Chelsea. Rest well, say prayers before you go to bed. Yeah. How's your alien stuff going, Unreal? It looked cool. Well, it looks like you're having fun. This pack really is missing a lot of stuff, man. Like, really is missing a lot of stuff. I mean, there's some good crap in here too, but like, there's so much that's missing. I'm definitely gonna make my own PCG script for Ivy because I want a lot of it. There's an Ivy plugin. I'm kind of debating on getting it. There's an Ivy plugin. Oh, it looks so good. Very nice. When I'm bringing a lot of my old projects together, that's cool. There's an Ivy plugin that like brings in a lot of that stuff. I'm kind of excited to see what that looks like. What does that tree look like? Oh, so that's an Ivy tree. Yeah, it's an Ivy tree. Yeah, I think I do definitely want the Ivy. I don't know. We'll have to see. What are the different ones? Okay, yeah. We're gonna have. I definitely need some trees like this. That's kind of what I'm going for with those birch ones, but they're right now they're set for birch, but they're gonna not be birch when I'm done with them. They're gonna be these trees like this. But I just have the birch texture on them right now because it looks cool. Make the archway look more like an Indian archway or Middle Eastern. Okay, you mean like the circle thing and then have another thing? And I don't know about all that. So are you polishing now? No, I'm trying to see the idea that you had and make sure that it makes sense. Throwing one or two props in here basically allows me to kind of realize that idea. You know, like you wanted strings and things heading down and all that other stuff. So I think that's a good way of doing it, is like one or two props isn't going to kill. I just wish they had more like they're lacking so many props, man. It's like it's kind of sad, to be honest. But I mean, it's cool. It is what it is. I don't know why this texture went bad. Like, it's not bad here. So why is it? Oh, I just had to reopen it. So I think, like, you know, stuff like this, I'm trying to think about what that looks like and make cool little things like this. Obviously, I don't want the doors like that, but I do want this double size. So I'm thinking, you know, arches that kind of look like this and have that nice little kind of inletted design. I think those are all cool, and that kind of adds to that flavor. So we'll probably have an arch, and those arch will be supported by the pillars and columns, and those columns will have like a little fancy top that comes up. Oh, dang. How'd that go all over there? I like it, though. I think it looks good. I think it's going to add for a lot of depth. What about the market and the temple? So this is the market all over here. This is the market. This is the market area. So this is basically the whole market area. This is the temple over here. This is probably way bigger than I want to make the temple, but basically this is the temple over here. These are two walkways that come over to the temple. I just need to, you know, cut this open. Good night. God bless you guys. Yep. No worries. Have fun. Go to bed. Enjoy. Sleep. Say prayers. Bye. This is the temple over here. I think this is a good spot for it. I don't really, again, know how tall I want it. I think this is a little bit too tall. And then I was kind of thinking that underneath we can do things, and we can have like things happening. So for example, like this could be a prison. Makes sense, you know. You were at the temple and they take care of you in the prison down here, and this could be a good spot for that. So, you know, makes good sense for that. And then we can have little market stalls underneath here too. Maybe this is where, you know, the super special crap is sold, or maybe this is where the smith is, and then that kind of, we can have this be, you know, engine room or something. I already got the apartment building finished out. I like how that looked, and I kind of liked how this looked. I originally had this all open. Not that open, but this open. Nope, not that open either. This open, yeah. I originally had it like this. I think it was too much, but again, I don't know. We'll see. I think it's an interesting thing to play with. I'll probably have to see if I like it or not. Maybe the corners don't have it, but I really wanted to have something that kind of separated out. I do like this look though, so you know, maybe just the corners are the locked out closed one. And then you have like that. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. It's easy to play with, and kind of see what I do or don't like yet. But I have the nice kind of structure. I think this is cool to come in here from this side, and you have this. So I mean, overall, I'm happy with it. It's looking good. It's kind of matching what my expectation was in my head. I do need to sit down and finish up the building, so that's what I think I'm going to do today. I was doing that earlier, and then we got sidetracked with all the side stuff. It's okay. It happens. But it's looking good. And it's got good sight lines. You know, it makes sense. That's why I close this off, is I think it's a little too open. I don't know. Maybe I block this side off, and then you can't get there, or I make this a little bit. I make this one closed and only one open here, and or maybe right here. I don't know. We'll see. Originally, it was a little bit more open. I think maybe I have a pillar or something that blocks a sight line. That might be another thing. I have like a pillar come down, so it blocks that sight line, and then another pillar. So that's the way it's a good support structure. But then I can still kind of have this, and it kind of blocks some sight lines. But I like it. I like where it's going. I like all the arches. It makes it feel kind of how I was thinking it was going to feel. Put some stuff in here. I need to make these more grandiose. I just put in a basic bevel so that way I could see what that looked like. And this is, you know, more area that could be something else. It doesn't have to be this. It could be that could, like, maybe this is an undercarriage area where storage is put for stuff, you know. And we don't use arches. We use actual columns on that side, so it has a differentiation of style. And then you come up here. The church would be over here. And then, you know, you can go inside the church. Come out from the church, and you have a good look and a good feel. You know, you can see everything here. Maybe we have like a staircase that comes down over here, like down this way, and then comes back down over here. So that way, as you're leaving church, you know, you can get right back into the market, or you can head up to the church. I kind of like that idea. Or, you know, you go the other way. Everybody who's, I have to jump. Everybody who's in this house area has automatic access to the church, but they can also come up through here and, you know, pass by here and then head into the church that way. So it gives a couple different avenues for it. I do think that I like the idea of over there. And then I think I'm going to put a sewer entrance right there. So that way, you can go into the sewers from there. I don't know what I'm gonna do with this area yet. I haven't really decided. So again, maybe I put some more houses here, that are more basic. And then I gotta fix this up because I need to make this a square or more of an H. I think I'm gonna do like an H setup for this one. And then I got to make. I haven't decided if I want to do flat pillars there or. I haven't decided that yet. I gotta figure. What about buildings next to the bridge? I like those. So these are houses. I think it's just houses. I did not mean to fall down. I forget when I'm flying or not. I'm gonna make these go down. And I like this because of how it looks. Are we able to go up? You mean up where? To the top of the buildings? Yeah. The end plan would be that you're able to, like in this building here, you can get all the way to the top. That's why I had this guy here. I don't know why the roof and everything got deleted. I think I was in the process of doing something and I forgot. So the roof got deleted. But yeah, you can get up top and you'll be able to see here. So that you'll be able to do the same thing up here. I think. I'm trying to figure out how I want this structure to be, but I think I'm going to do the same thing as over there. Pretty small rooms, nothing major, and maybe on the top building I do something a little bit bigger, but the staircase will be kind of here, and the staircase will kind of wind up and get you up to the different levels, and then you get to the top, and then you can, you know, come out here and see this, or you can, you know, walk across to the other side using the land bridge. Walk to the other side and go to the other side and do the same thing. Staircase there, walking here. And then maybe this is the kitchen area or bathroom area, or maybe both. Or maybe this is the bathhouse for this area for all these people who live here. I haven't really decided yet. I like the communal area concept. That's kind of what I was doing over here. So if you come in here, this building it's got a roof over it for the second floor, but right now you don't see it. And then underneath, this is where the, you know, living room would be. The kitchen area will be over here, and then you have this over here. I think keeping that the same height as the church would work nice, yeah. And so then you'll have the second floor, and then in the second floor, this is where you can see all the rooms. And then there's a nice little open area right here, so we can have like something in the middle. But it's more hotel-y. That's kind of what I was going for. Or like super low class, like something in Japan, you know, or Tokyo, that you would see. It's nice. It's put together well, but it's also not like the best thing in the world. It's like your Motel 8, you know. So then you can go back outside. I haven't decided what I want to do with these two things. I was thinking about making these like, you know, specific homes. Like maybe there's like a 2-family home in here, you know, 2 sides, and then like a 1-family home here. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, I do think that I want to have the church be easily kind of viewed. I like that sight line. And it's low enough to where, again, I still get all that stuff up there if I wanted to have stuff. And then I have this, which is blocking off most of the sea view, which is great. I need to finish up kind of this all over here as well. I know I have this open, so I don't, maybe this is like a little tiny garden or something. I don't know. But I do like it. Sight lines are looking good. Everything's looking good. I'm really happy with kind of how we're going and flowing. And it's really easy to get to the market. So if I come into the main area of the city, that's right through here. So, you know, I get in through the main area. This is really big, so I can store things. Maybe this is like a guard tower or something. And then I have a really easy pathway to get to the markets or to the warehouses. And so we have the door over here for the warehouses. And then that gets us access to all the warehouse stuff, which is still here. We've got lots of space, you know, for the warehouses. And then I have this pathway, which I liked that you had, that goes to the quartermaster's area, and he's the one who controls the rich people's crap. So I do need to kind of design out how I think that this is going to look. I don't know yet. And I don't know what I'm going to put here. Maybe just another house kind of thing. I haven't decided yet. And maybe having like some statues here might be cool. You know, maybe like a cool little statue here and a cool little statue there. That might actually be cool. Let's test that idea out. We need to find a specific style for the buildings. I'm already working on that. I think I'm going with your style. I'm going to add edges. So we are using a slant. I think everything under the 8 size. So all of these are 8. Everything under the 8 size is going to have a slant, and I think everything above 8 will be flat. So there are walls that I'm going to have issues with. What I'm thinking is I make a very specific shell for these buildings. We don't make the shell modular, but we make the internals modular. So that way I have like a couple of different shells that we can choose from. You know, kind of like, okay, this is a H, this is an I, or this is this trapezoid, you know, looking Tetris thing. And so I set the shell up properly with the proper heights. That's kind of what I'm doing right here. So this is a shell, and then the interior will be all kit bashed. So that way we can have a very specific shell that matches the style and design and look, has the proper windows and everything else that we need. And then we just match the interiors. And then the upstairs can be kind of more randomized, I think, is what I'm gonna do. I'm not positive. I haven't decided yet. I'm still playing. I don't think I'm gonna go. I'm not sticking with a specific design. No, I'm not sticking to a specific design of Rome. So what we're gonna take from Rome is we're taking the color, right? So Rome had the white concrete because that's what the lime and everything else, and then they had the red. They had the terracotta style red roofs, ceramic tile like roofs. Those are very common. You see that stuff and you think either Mexican, Spanish, or Rome. And so we're going to stick with that. And then what is very Rome that we're going to take from their architecture is the bevels. So there's going to be lots and lots of bevels. There's going to be lots and lots of inlays and bevels. And then this is where your fancy type stuff is going to go, is inside these little areas right there. And so I'm thinking that I'm going to make those be like a flat plane or whatever. And on those flat planes, that's when I'll do the cool little designs and pictures or whatever else. Or kind of like the thing that I showed you earlier over here, which I can bring out again because I'm in that section. Or maybe I'm not. I lied. Where did it go? Where'd it go? Yeah, right here. This is a perfect example. Lots of bevels. Very ornate interiors for their little, secondary thing. And so I think having something very similar to this, being this kind of structure, up here on this top part with the lots of bevels and this ornate look, so something like that will grant us that Rome style look. But I am going to focus on arches as for kind of like your doorways. I want to avoid these if I can. I want to stick to arches. I think that's the style that I want to go with. I like it. So we're going to do arches and then, work with this kind of ornate and beveled kind of look. That's what we're going for. There might be some thatched roofs, but in all reality, again, all the roofs should be that terracotta, ceramic type of roof. And so those will all make that kind of look similar. When we talk about stairs, again, the stairs that they have are pretty good. It's all lime based. So that's the same thing that we're going to do. Our stairs will be, lime based, and they follow the same height rules that we have. So not that we, are going to use their stairs, because we're not, but it's a good, if you're just bricking this in, you can use these because they're the same basically height and style as ours. And that'll give you a good idea. Okay, cool. This is, what I want this to look like.
But don't also forget the Roman architecture that we see the old pictures of and go that's of the things that were built with more durable products. A lot of Roman stuff would have been built with wood and things like that, but they didn't survive the many ages since then.
That's also true. Yeah. Hey, Stormy.
Hey, I was doing that because a lot of people talk about Roman architecture and all that sort of things, and I think to myself, you're right in one sense if you look at the ruins that we can see, but that doesn't necessarily reflect the totality of architecture.
Yeah, I'm not, like I said, we're not going to stick 110% to it. I am going to take some of my own creative liberties. But it
is a timeline that is obviously 2,000 years beyond the entire origination of Rome.
Yeah, I think we'll be fine. We still have to add in all of the like futuristic stuff. You know what I mean? So there's some elements in there that I'm gonna have to kind of like break up and be like, hey, we're making future stuff, and people are gonna be like, wait, what? So I'm not super tripping on it. Like I said, I think this area is going to be very limited on future stuff. What I was thinking I might do is in this area, I'm going to do those like umbrellas, those electronic umbrellas that are in Dubai that basically, when it's hot, it comes out and then it like poops out steam, and the steam, not steam, but mist. And then it's using air to push the steam. I mean, you might need that. I don't need the AI concept art.
Just
I have
laser guns.
I have a concept artist.
NPCs and no need for cooling.
What's up, Mac? Oh, it's Mac Mac. Hi, Mac Mac. I do have a concept artist working on some concepts, but I personally don't need concept artists. How I do it and how I learn, which is not, the right way. I'm not saying it is the right way. This is how my brain works, is I do it the way that I'm doing it right now. I flesh it in. So I did my first pass flesh in, which was just with these stupid blocks. And then I go in and I replace each piece or part. So I made on one stream this entire thing. So I have a good idea of size and structure. Then I'm going to throw in on the very specific ones that I want to look a certain way and make sure it matches. I throw this in and I get a good idea. And then once I get that down, then we're good. No, I don't agree to that. Yes, that's true. We also, like I said, if you want to go pay for a concept artist, by all means, go ahead. If you want to play with the AI and try to get the same style over 50 different prompts, I'm not going to stop you. Go ahead and try. I'm going to tell you that you're going to get 50 different styles and it's all going to be different every single time and it's not going to match and then you're going to be playing with... I'm not wasting my time doing that. If you want to do that, I'm not stopping you. If that helps you, I'm not stopping you. I want you to be successful, and if that's what helps you out, then fine. You gotta do what you gotta do, man.
If you're using AI to style something, then you're doing a needle in a haystack. On the other hand, using AI to do things, and occasionally you can see something that you'd forgotten about. That's just natural. It will pull from sources that you basically haven't remembered, and suddenly it will say, oh crap, yeah, I should include that thing. But for the most part, it should be suggestive only, not something that you should base an entire thing on, because AI is still way too early and way too problematic with its biases.
I mean, like I said, I'm not telling you no. If you want to do it, by all means, go ahead. I'm not gonna do it because it doesn't help me. I've sat down and I've looked at AI like so many times and it never ever even comes close, man. We're gonna look at some AI together. That's why I'm off of Unreal. Just give me a second. I need to do...
But the thing is what Unreal did with the top houses, the top level, I don't see that as conflicting with the style that's in game in any sense of the word. I think it worked quite well.
I'm not combating what Unreal did.
No. What I'm saying is conceptually, I thought that was on track, without a need for concept AI and all that sort of thing.
Maybe. I don't know. He'd have to tell you that, not me.
Did you like the shit up top?
You talking about the buildings that he made up there? Yeah. These are good.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's conceptually, it's in style with the stuff that we're working. It's, there's individualistic differences, but you can also put that down to the fact it's a slightly richer area.
I don't know where his crap... Where is it? Let me go to his stuff. So if I go to levels... Shit. Is it under levels? I don't know where... Where'd you put your stuff, Unreal?
What is it? Depths hell.
No. He might have had his own level. Shared assets? No. Unreal Habitat? Kit Bash assets. There we go. There we go. Found it. He put it in his folder, which is cool. Okay, back to display 1. Let's go back there. And then I'm going to... I mean, that's like 90% good, so I'll lock it there, and then I'll lock the background because I don't want that getting messed with. And then I need to create a rule. That's gonna suck, man. Damn. Okay, advanced scene switcher. I'll just add another section of the rule, and is not... Can I add another one? Can I add another one? Can I duplicate this rule?
Join.
Hey.
I don't know if I can duplicate this rule. What's up, bro?
Yeah, what I was trying to how do you say it? What I was trying to say with the AI is that, it's like hard to get like the right style and consistency and stuff. But I mean, we can always like photo bash different images, and we can like define stuff from there.
I'm not saying no to that, but like I said, if you want to waste that time doing that, and it's not, I'm not, waste is a bad term, okay? I'm not trying to be negative. I don't really have a better term. If you want to spend the time and the effort to do that, I'm not going to say no. What I am saying is I'm not going to spend the time doing it because I have done it before and I never have had results that I even remotely like. So hopefully, is this showing up? It should be showing up, right? Grok is here. Yay. Draw me a picture of a Roman city near the ocean, right? So let's just start off basic. And then we make the AI, like this is your basic, prompt. Like just, okay, give me a cool little whatever. Now, what this is going to do is it's going to give you the same thing that we already are doing. Like literally, if you look at this, right? This is the same style we making, bro. Like arches and lots of bevels and a terracotta roof, right? So now you say, okay, I would like this to be more stylized like Overwatch, or Overwatch 2, or Ruined King style art. Because that's our stylized, texture and arts and things like that. So now it gives us a cool kind of like stylized art look and everything else. But if you look at the pictures, and no different, it's bevels and archways, because that's what Roman structures were. Literally, that's all they were. Like the fancy dancy ones, that's all they were. And if you look at the Mediterranean stuff, you had the style. That's what I'm trying to say. Like you have the style. Like this is very similar to the style. This would be concrete, right? And then you have the windows.
Architecturally, some of them are fucking not that sound.
Huh? Wait, what?
Well, look at the tower one on this, the second lot of shots with the columns.
Oh, you're talking about these? Yeah, no. That's because it's AI, man. That's what I'm saying. AI just takes whatever and fucking says, here you go. So and this is kind of the argument I would make is, if we had a concept artist, like an actual concept artist, I could say, hey, I want you to do X, Y, and Z, and I want the style to focus on this. And then what they will do is they will make that. But if I'm going to try to tell this AI, like, I like this style, but the buildings do not make sense and would not be structurally sound. Please rework to make sure that is the case.
Is this a paid AI?
Yes.
Are you using it inside X?
Yes. Grok 3 is free right now if you want it, and right now Grok 3 is the best one that you can get. There's like Stable Diffusion, I think that's got a couple of things too. But
is that inside, like, is it part of X?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
So
that's better.
It's still the same stuff. That's what I'm saying. Like, so if we're talking about architecture and we're talking about trying to create a theme, we already know the Roman theme. So like, I don't need AI to do that. So now what you're gonna say is, design me, or say, using this defined theme, come up with what a future version of Rome might look like if it never was to fall. So let's say the year is 2070. Go figure. It's got round roofs, which is what we've already done, bro. Like we have the theme. That's what I'm trying to say. Like I really think we have the theme down. I don't have any issues with it. So this is a mega structure, right? You have that base bottom that has all the little bevel edges with lots of archways. Then you have that classic Roman structure, and we have this dome, which is the thing. We're already using all the classic tropes. That's what I'm saying. I think we're fine. If you want to try to play with it and go more sci-fi, so that's another thing. You could be like, okay, this is great, but I need more sci-fi. And make it super stylized as if it was a Japan cartoon. So we get that Ghibli effect.
Oh, well, then say it Ghibli.
I'm going to next. I wanted to see what it did with Japan cartoon, because it should automatically choose Ghibli or whatever it's called.
There's so many styles of Japanese cartoons, though. I mean, what level of anime are you going to go to?
I suppose. I guess. So what's going to happen is it's going to go brutalist, and then that's exactly all it did. It went brutalist, and it threw like some blue light in there, which I can do. Like,
Go sci-fi utopian. Don't say brutalist. Don't. It will default, but say
okay,
sci-fi
let's
utopian.
Rework to sci-fi utopia.
It ends up with the Matrix.
It just adds lights, bro. That's all it does. All the structure stays the same. They add lights. That's what we're going to do anyways. What I'm saying, and no, in this one they threw in some cool little hyper railways with some blue lights and some UFOs.
Utopia. If you want to avoid brutalist, always add utopia to basically get more of the, because utopia will think of things like public transports and all that sort of thing.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is I think this is fine. But this is not a 1-for-1, and a lot of the reasons why you do a concept artist is because you want a 1-for-1, and for you to get a 1-for-1 from AI is going to be near impossible. You can try. If you can figure it out, more power to you. I haven't had any luck.
Before you close it. But the thing about this that I actually think can be taken from is that not the buildings and all that, that's sort of shit we're already doing. I might give slight inspiration, slightly architecturally different. It's the elements that get added in, like, you know, their version of a aqueduct or the ships flying overhead, the sci-fi elements, the modernizations, those things that you go, this would be a good way to incorporate it. Lighting, how would you do that?
I think I like what I like about this, if I was to say I liked anything, is it's the structure of the greenery. That is what our thing is missing, is the doodads and everything else.
Yeah, but you haven't gone organic yet fully.
That's what I was gonna say. We're not there yet, so that's why it doesn't exist. But so this image is not bad. Like I could see this as being something. But if you look at this image, the player is this big, and this building is like 5 billion times bigger than the player. So
But it's good for suggesting elements that you may have forgotten about, and that's what I've always considered AI. I don't consider it as a practical example at the moment. I mean, the instant you can say to AI, build me a game, I want these things so I can have this amount of fun type thing, and it doesn't, and there's no fucking insanity, I'll be happy. But until then, AI is shit.
Oh, it's getting close. Grok can make games pretty quickly, and you can actually tell it to stylize it. Now, it's not going to be flawless. It's
Grok,
got a lot of
make me Miss Pac-Man, but call it Mrs. Tudor.
Right. So here's a temple, right? I said, hey, make a futuristic temple, and so this is what it made, right? Using that theme and that style. And so I've got a futuristic temple on the water line, and all they're going to do is it's going to take these columns, and it's just going to throw them there. So again, what I'm trying to say is you're not going to get a 1-for-1, and if that's what you're looking for, I don't think you're going to find any benefit. You can try it, and I encourage you to try it, because if you can figure it out, then you will save me, you, and us, the team, thousands of dollars, because this sketch right here is anywhere from $600 to $700 at this quality level of a normal concept artist.
Dude,
However-
I think that you are thinking more about production art, production concept art, which is like the final image. I'm thinking more about pre-production concept art. I need to show you some examples. It's just a bunch of super quick sketches that give you like an idea of what things
I
could look
agree.
like. You know, like
There-
a bunch of variations of the same thing.
In America, those are $64 an hour. So if it takes them 10 hours, which is the average for those type of things, that's $600.
Yeah, I know concept art can be very expensive, but there's a lot of like Eastern European concept artists and people that charge less. But I'm not saying about hiring somebody. I'm saying that it will be nice to get some like, you know, pictures, like some ideas of what things could look like. You know, like my question is like, for example, for the water facility, remember, like you said, like you wanted some ruins,
Mm-hmm.
and then we changed it to the water facility. So my question is like, how defined is the map at this moment? Like what, like
So we've talked about that before. The map is not defined. It is based off of what we come up with. So the reason why it got changed to a water facility wasn't because the ruin idea was bad. In fact, I still think the ruin idea is good, and it could have been a ruins. We changed it to water facility because me and Stormy were talking about story, and we were trying to loop in and create a justifiable reason concept. And because we were doing that, we created the story with the water facility because it functions with the dungeon and it functions with everything else. Just having a ruins there is, again, it's not a bad thing, but we had to create story around that. And for whatever reason, I'd have to go watch the stream again. We came up with, do you remember, Stormy? Do you know why we came up with that? I don't remember.
With the water?
Why did we come up with a water facility? We were originally talking about it being ruins, and then we
We
derailed.
talked
to a
about
water
temples and
facility.
baths. We talked about temples
Oh,
and baths and
that's
got off the
right.
goddess track, and then we put over to water.
That's
Yeah,
right.
'cause
We were.
it's an island and you need to filter the water, and like also cools down the dungeon facility and a bunch
Yeah,
of other...
basically it was an organic conversation because we have the gods aspect, and there are things that the gods have certain tasks for you to do in order to unlock them. This was potentially that, but it was also the bandits that obviously moved in there, so it was a combination of things. So we switched away from what was going to be the baths and all that sort of thing over to the water processing, because then we could link it to the dungeon as well, arguably supply the city, and you could build mechanical quests in there for people to get things working and all that sort of thing, whereas the baths themselves was a lot more static quest wise.
So,
Mhm.
to the argument, the things that are static that aren't changing is this starting location. This is static. It's not going anywhere. That's going to be... Now, what it looks like is a different story. Again, we're in the process of that. This is going to be a harbor town. What this harbor town looks like and how it feels. I'm going more of like... When I was thinking about this, we were talking about it, and I liked what you had talked about with having something like this, right? So this is actually the thing that I designed all of this other stuff around, was making sure that I had this corridor. All of this could have been something else, but because I wanted this corridor, I was like, okay, how do we get this corridor? How do we justify that? So I built all the blocks around this corridor, so that way we have this pathway. And that's when I kind of got this idea for this little, like, open market area. I like this. It's very structured. It's very organized. And then, you can put people here and have things sit down. And then we were talking about pathways and looking, and all of this kind of looked a little static. It looked a little flat. So then I saw your temple, and I was like, oh, or not the temple. I saw, the, whatever it's called, lighthouse. I was like, wouldn't that be cool if we had something that framed that? And so then that developed that. So I'm not
At which
arguing
point
that
we
you're...
started talking about more verticality in order to make certain lights claustrophobia in the alleys and make the market far more important by the fact that it wasn't verticalized.
Yeah, so what I would admit is I'm not saying that this is a structured approach in any way, shape, or form. This is not a structured approach. This is an iterative approach, and that's why I think where you kind of got the annoyance factor is you put a lot of time in making these really cool buildings, and then we iterated past that, and you were like, "What the fuck, man?" Like, wait, we just invalidated all that work, and I don't want to invalidate it in the sense that I like this style and still want to use this style, but I also don't want the buildings to be that small because it doesn't allow for what we're trying to do here. So what I would say is I think that we have to work in this version here first and get it kind of agreed on the heights and everything else and what that looks like. And then my brain works this way. Yours may not. So that's why I moved into Maya after that, because that's where I'm going to be successful. I don't want to dictate you do that. Whatever, you are very, very good with the Unreal tools. I suck. I've tried so many times and I'm horrible. But you're clicking and doing things and making it work for you. So kudos to you. I can't do that. So I use Maya and I iterate my thought process in Maya. I just like on my last stream, I put this all in here and I was like, okay, that size and shapes look good. And then I threw these in here and was like, okay, those make sense. And then I threw the beds in here to make sure they fit. And then I tried out the window cuts to see which window cuts looked good and could we hang ivy from them and blah, 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 blah. So,
but you can't jump through it.
Correct. And so that's kind of how I work. What I would argue for you or suggest for you or however you want to say it is if I said, hey, Unreal Habitat, go dev out this area, and you wanted to create a bunch of AI art to help you get a good idea of what that looks like, I'm not going to say no to that. Hey, go forth and conquer, and then you can go through and you can do that. What you're going to find a problem with, or I think that you're going to find a problem with, is your AI art is not going to follow this structure. So if you're looking for something that's a 1-to-1 or close to a 1-to-1, it's not going to happen. You're still going to have to visualize and say, I only have this space here. How do I fill that space with X, Y, and Z? So that's why I don't do it. It's an extra step for me. I look at concept art. I'm like, oh, that concept art looks good. Okay, cool.
Here's a quick question for you for the AI. Can you take that screenshot, right, of there, then feed it into Grok and basically say, I have this blank square colored in orange. What would you put there as a building?
Maybe. So let's take a screenshot here, right? And then let's go try out Grok.
Choose an area that works out so you can show some of the style and see what it would do.
Let me show you an example.
This is a game I am making using the style we defined in the last few images. Draw me up what this might look like, fully fleshed in as a Roman harbor town.
Yep.
Let me forward you an example that
draw the image
my viewer sent me.
Oh, I just yep.
I think I shared it with
Did you break it?
Ryu as well. Basically he took a screenshot and basically the AI kind of like, stable diffused it or something. I don't know how this method is called, but super interesting because it takes like the block out and just adds a bunch of details. Let me send you the example, Ryu, so you can check it. I think I showed you this one.
I'm talking about the character.
But anyways, my question was like when you were talking about the slum area, like what did you exactly had in mind? Because when you say slums, I imagine like Brazilian favelas and like we said before. So I was thinking like what exactly you had in mind for that space.
So we kind of already talked about that and showed that. I mean, we'll go back and we can do that. But let me show you. So if you look at the stream, this is the problem that Grok has. So I don't know which program he used, Stable Diffusion or Lily 6 or Apple Appa, Deep Fade. I don't know. He could have used any type of thing. I have no clue. What he could have also done was cut out the AI and then put that in there. So you would have to ask him and see what method. But Grok doesn't
input it. Yeah, it's an input. You need to upload an image to it.
I did. Here's my image I uploaded and said do this, and it didn't do that. So anyways, that's not what
I need to ask him what is the tool that he used.
Correct.
He's used for that.
But let's go back a step and let's talk about what we said. We said, okay, we're going to design this, and we did talk about slums, and we did talk about a couple of things. And in that process of talking about those things, we have modified the concept a couple of times. But the simplest version that we had, and I'm pulling it up right now, so it's going to take a second. I have to go through all the pictures again and get me
Simplest
to where we
version,
were.
working class, poor.
Yeah. So, but when we talk about that, right, we're talking about. This is a good image. Let me bring this over here. Okay, bring this over here so you can see that. Let me zoom out a little bit.
I remember you talking about the Overwatch map and.
Yeah. Okay, so we had this and open, and then we had
That looks nice.
the
Yeah, it's very
yes.
Mediterranean type cafe aspect.
And then we had this, and then we had this, and then we had this.
You know, like my biggest worry is that my
What's your biggest
worry
worry?
is that I don't know, like, you know, like we need like some kind of like pre-production, like some kind of like
These are all pre-production, bro. Like that's where I'm not arguing with you. I think what you're looking for is a concept artist, because a concept artist, this right here is what was made by a concept artist made this. If you look at his art station and he goes through his pipeline, right? So in his pipeline, is it this video? No, where's the video with this pipeline? Damn it, where's this video of his pipeline? I might have to go look and see where he's at. Okay, so here's what he did. He took a bunch of pictures. These are all realistic pictures, okay? And he took all of these realistic pictures, I think one of them over here. This is yeah, he has AI, or it's not AI, he has a image of Overwatch 2, okay? And he took all of these pictures and images, and then he did this right here. He blocked out in cubes. And then after he blocked out in cubes, he added the spatial details to all the little tiny areas and things. See, block cubes, spatial details.
That's the step that we're missing, dude.
No, we didn't even do the block out. We got
no.
We got.
Go back one step. We are missing.
I can't go back anything because it's just going. By the way, this is a GIF. I have no control over this.
Right. What I'm saying is that we are missing that step. Go up where he has a lot of pictures.
We're not. Look, I shared every single one of these pictures. You have this one, 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 you have this.
Those pictures that the pictures you're talking at the moment are inspiration for sources. They're not actual concept art.
Correct.
No, I'm not saying that's concept art. I'm saying that all those images are related to one specific area.
So are these. So right here is an ocean front, okay? And these are the town buildings. Now here's an important factor. Maybe again, this is where my communication lacks. And if that's my communication, it's my communication, and I'm sorry. But if you look at these buildings, I showed you these buildings, we talked about this. All of these buildings are 2-story. So if the height of our buildings is 4 for 1 story, then that means all of our buildings need to be 8, because every single one of these is, except for that one right there, which looks like it's some kind of like mausoleum or railway entrance, every single one of these buildings is 2 stories or more. Okay. Now, if we come back to your buildings, which there's no problems with, again, I love your style.
I understand my buildings are small and like are video gaming,
Correct.
not thinking
Correct.
of like proper structure, but
Okay.
like this is what I'm trying to say. Like, it would be nice to get like this reference, like very straight to the point, like reference per area with like notes. Because I think you showed me this for the ruins, right? Like when I was working on the ruins.
This is
Are you
if I go
saying?
back to our chat.
One sec. Are you saying you need more reference art in order to try and match the style closer to what you think we want, or what
No,
Ray wants?
I'm saying that I did those buildings like that look like a little bit like Arabic, kind of like desert kind of building stuff. Because Riot told me to base that on the Star Wars looking likes that I made. Right.
So yes and no. So if we look at the chat, and I think this is probably something better for off stream. But if we're going
going into nitty gritty of dev chat, definitely take it off stream.
Well, we're gonna talk about it for a couple of seconds because I think it's important and he's here and it's valuable because we need to make sure that we're on the same page. So if I'm going back to our chats, right? I'm not going to go into the nitty gritty of our chats, but if I am looking back into our chats, we talked about you wanting to make the or not wanting to, but you basically felt good about what you had worked on. And you wanted to move over into what's it called? That the starter town. And you did the starter town, and I gave you some feedback. And my feedback was, hey, look, there's this line that needs to be created in a path because they need to go here. So just move this around here. And then I gave you feedback because I said, hey, these were all the same, and you said you were in the process of working it. And then I gave you feedback about the fact that this is probably how I would make this look. You have some kind of pool or fountain, and we'd have a secondary structure, and that was my feedback on that. And then I went ape poopy and I destroyed all that, and you got upset, and that rightfully so because I just deleted your shit. So then we moved on from that, and we were like, okay, let's have you go work on the side buildings, because what I was trying to do is I was trying to get this idea, and I tried showing you how I would expect the tower to look rather than what you had created, that's not your problem. That was me trying to help out. And again, I jacked that up because I came in and I was like, no, it needs to look like this, and maybe if you put it here. And I tried modifying your stuff and it didn't work. And then I also provided some feedback on what that looks like and how the doors should look like. So I'm saying all this because I think we had a pretty good concept of what the feedback should be looking like, because that's what I was doing this entire time. I showed you meshes, I showed you an example, I gave you the beveling and what the interior would look like and all that other stuff. And then we talked about this and this style, right? This is a very large style, and you were like, oh, I love that art style. And I was like, yeah, me too. And this is kind of what I'm thinking about for the ruins. And then we went into the ruins discussion, and that's when we started talking about, okay, what does it look like? I provided you the link to this guy's video for all the stuff on how to make an environment. You said you've seen it before. I was like, yep, me too. And he uses the same concept. This is the reason why I showed this, is he has a big, huge thing of layouts that he likes and styles that he likes and things that, give him good inspiration. And then he talks about how he blocks it in. So I thought this was, going to help. This is my thought process of giving guidance on how we should go about this. And because you had seen it before and I had seen it before, I was like, okay, we're good. So then we shifted, because that's, like I said, that's when I effed everything up and I deleted it. And so then we shifted and we talked about this. And I sent you this and said, hey, these are kind of what I originally based my concept of the buildings on. And I showed you, because if we go back to my old ones that I provided, which I think is here. Damn it. Where is it? Nope, I don't have it here. Oh, yes, here. Perfect. So these are the buildings that I made during the game jam. All of these little buildings, right? And these buildings, if we look at them, look a lot like these buildings because this was my inspiration during the game jam. I didn't have any arcs like this because I didn't have time to make big arcs. But if you look at this looks exactly like the building that I made. Like literally almost one for one. And this looks like the building I made, and that looks like the building I made. So I had those like basic structures, and we talked about that. And then I said, I really love this concept, you know, of how this looks and how he has this design, and you agreed with me because it's very futuristic and still has that Mediterranean look. And we had a conversation about this because this, I mean, look how good that looks. That looks amazing, right? And then that's when we came into the concept of the big stuff, where we went into, where the heck did it go? Oh, I have it right here. That's where we went into the conversation about this like city and how this looked. And this is what, I mean, we've revisited this idea a couple of times because this city is what actually helped you to create over here, and which again was super awesome. We loved this. You did a really good job, and that was based off of this concept. But what I would argue again was, if you look at these buildings and you look at how these buildings are laid out, they're more than one player high. This one's almost 4 players high. Very few of them are 1 player high, and they're all smashed together. And one of the things that I gave you as feedback, and one of the things that we talked about, was let's make them more smashed together and more brought together. And this was while we were talking about not just the harbor town, but we were talking about that thing. And you were like, hey, I made Star Wars Tatooine looking buildings. Are we using that for the area? And I said yes. And then, okay, so that's great. And then this is whenever I started showing you all of the arches and the structures of what ruins might look like, and going through these concepts. And you were like, yeah, I got it. Cool. Kind of got it. So all that to say, and I know it's a lot, I'm talking forever. I don't want to take up all the space. You definitely should share what you think too. But in my mind, what I have done is I've provided ample feedback and tried to get you in the right direction. If what I've noticed is, or what I would say our issue is that if I don't give you like 100% a 1-for-1, then that's where we get into trouble or we get lost, because I'm kind of trying to giving you the freedom to play with it, and at the same time of giving you that freedom to play with it, I also try to correct it. And when I try to correct it, then we have those issues. That's kind of like what happened here. Was you took the initiative, which was awesome, and then you made those cool buildings. I don't know where they went. They're somewhere over here. You made these cool buildings, which aren't bad. They just needed some correction. And then when we tried to get to the correction, I don't know what happened from that. I think whether I upset you or I said something wrong or I did something wrong, I don't really know. But that's when we find the problem, is when I try to correct. To me.
But the trouble is Ryu also has a poor use of words. When he says things like correction implying it's wrong, he should be using words like modification. So he's not the most diplomatic person at times. And he's not intending to be undiplomatic. It's just his language is very military based. So it's a lot more aggressive in a lot of senses.
It's totally fine. I think that we are like like approaching the process from 2 different points of view.
I said that like 8 streams ago. I said you both have the same vision. It's just approached from radically different directions. You're a top-down view. Ryu is someone who builds brick by brick. As long as you both understand that, you can actually work around it. It's just basically understand the fact that you both approach from a different point of view.
Yeah, I for some reason have like this idea of like, we need to get this out as fast as possible and we need to make it look nice as fast as possible. But Ryu is on the like ideation stage, you know, where like we are testing things out. We want like quick concepts. We want to just to see how things will look like. But I kind of like stepped into the let's get something finished like as soon as possible, right? So that's why I you know, started like getting into like little details and stuff. But
First rule is do we want to get shit out on time? Absolutely. Are we going to get shit out on time? Not a fucking chance in hell.
The thing here is like how we move forward, right? Like, so like now the layout, like, you know, it's kind of hard for me to come up with a layout, because I just basically, the way I work is just copying things one to one and modifying from there, right? So it's it's also
I get
like,
that.
you know,
Go ahead. I talked for a while, so go ahead.
it's also like, you know, I'm not saying that I need like a perfect final image. I can like get like 5-6 images with notes and be like, oh, you like the landscape from
How
here?
did you build the villas up top? Right? Can you scan over the villas?
Mm-hmm.
The top section that didn't get built. How
So
did you approach that?
I'm thinking like, how what's the next step? Like letting Ryu do the layout so I can like get on the into like some details after it, or like, you know, what's the best approach for the next step?
No, but
Well,
what I'm
so-
saying is these villas we're happy with in every sense of the word. I mean,
Mm,
everything
they
can
need
be polished.
modifications, but they're good. They're good.
Yeah, my point is you're talking about how did you get to this point where at the end of the day any modifications are minor as opposed to, you know, literally ripping it out and starting all over again.
Well,
It's okay to rip things out, like, you know, like
No, ignore the rip out thing. What I'm saying is, how did you get there? I like what you did. Ryu like what you did. If there's going to be tweaks, there'll be tweaks, but we like what you did.
I'm
How
grabbing coffee.
did you
I'm
get
listening.
there?
basically
You're talking about, yeah. What was your
used
work process to get there?
the pieces that we had available. Ryu created some kit bash pieces, and I placed them using those kit bash pieces, and looking at some of the reference, and since it's like a very kind of like basic shape, like it kind of worked out. But the thing is that the thing is that yeah, that's what I'm wondering, like what's the best step to move forward, you know, so I you know, I can help get the environment, you know,
You're
moving
you're
forward.
you're overthinking it. I'm not worried about the harbor town and all that sort of thing. I have faith in your abilities. What I'm interested in is that process by where you put the villas was basically on point. If we talk about individual tweaks of making a path slightly wider or anything, that's just our thing. When questing goes in, shit, there's going to be a lot of dynamic changes to all the models just to make sure characters can go into certain places and do all that things. That's, you know, that's an entire iteration away from this. But in the villas themselves, you approached it in such a way that you were able to come out with a result that worked quite well. What I'm saying is, what in that workflow is helped you to get to that point where you could create that, and how did it differ from, for example, the Harbor City?
The
What is
main
it that changed you?
difference, to get to that result, was the amount of reference. Like I had fewer images and very clear direction of what things should look like, you know. I basically
So what you're saying is you need style presented to you so you can actually work within that.
yeah, because I mean, like, I think that having too much reference, it kind of like dilutes the idea. So I mean, you get lost in like different, you know, concepts, and it's like, probably that's what I've been having issues with. Like, also, like, since I'm not the one picking the reference, I don't know what exactly I need to focus on from each image. Some images that Ryu sent me, like maybe he wants the composition from that. Maybe the other ones are the shapes of the building, the silhouette.
If he sends you a piece of art and you don't understand what he's looking for, just abuse the fuck out of him and say, specifically, what are you looking at in this that you're trying to draw my attention to.
Yeah, like having
Feel free to, feel free to chase it up in that respect. I mean, Ryu's a man of, what's the word? He's a John Wick, but he has no pencil, so he just lashes out blindly. Or is it a pen? I don't know.
So,
but what I'm saying is, for the harbour, what do you perceive the harbour town as?
Good thing I can't hear you guys.
Words. Of course I know, can you hear me? Mr. Penless.
Anyways, moving forward, like my question is like, what do you think is the best use of my time, for the project? Because I mean, like, I have this like sentiment, like I have this kind of like idea of that, like I'm not sure if I should, like, spend time on the layout, because I'm not getting not getting I don't know, I don't feel sure of what should I do for the layout, right?
So
Right.
here's what I'm gonna say, and then because I gotta go get my food in 2 seconds anyways. It's in the microwave. The way that this is supposed to work is the way that it works in the industry. The only downside to this is I don't have a concept artist to specifically provide you the very specific reference that you would have, right? But it's no different if you are an environmentalist artist or a level design artist. The two concepts are the same. Now, the difference between an environmentalist artist and a level design artist is an environmentalist just needs to make it look pretty. They don't care about player, they don't care about location, they don't care about any of the crap. It just needs to look pretty so that they can get a picture or a video to show off their skills. When we go into a level design artist, you are using all of the skill sets that you would have as an environmentalist artist, but you now need to make it game playable. So what I would say you are very good at is being an environmentalist artist. You have the ability to make things look amazing. They look great. Like all of your stuff you do, like even your sci-fi project, man. In like 4 days, you've made an amazing looking sci-fi game that if you look at anybody who goes to your stream, they're looking at it like, oh my God, this is great, right? What I would argue is the issue is it doesn't work in gameplay. Your Harbor Town was great. It looked cool. It had a good thing, but gameplay wise, it didn't work. And so that is where my issue was. And so the step that we have to get that I need you to master, I don't care if it takes you 6 months to master it, because if you can master this step, you will be like the most valuable asset that anybody could ever have, because you're going to have both the level design concept process and the I make this shit look cool process down. And so that's what I want you to focus on. I actually don't care if you do a good layout. If you learn how to do level design from the block out process to the set dressing process in the next 6 months, I consider that a success. And the contract that we talked about.
Can you pull out that 4 balcony thing?
Huh?
In his pieces, can you pull out that 4 balcony thing?
Oh, over here?
Yeah, the one we talked about. The piece. You should still have it.
I have to go to his level, bro. It's on his level.
What balcony?
We're going
You'll
to your
see
level
in a
real quick.
This is something that Ryo and I talked about after a stream, and basically this is what Ryo's trying to get to once he gets the piece.
Yeah, I've said this multiple times. Your final product here is this is amazing. This is exactly the style that I wanted. You saw the picture, you made this like perfect style. It's got futuristic, it has the Roman theme, it looks very Roman. This is other than little tiny tweaks here and there, this is the style that we're going for, right? Now, where you, I think, got lost, and it's not your fault, it's mine, is we made these smaller pieces, right? Because we were talking about, okay, we want to have these like ruined cities, and you like the concept, I like the concept, and we wanted to talk about that. But while you were designing this, if you remember, one of the things that I told you was, that shit's too small, bro. Like, absolutely nobody can live in this. There's nothing, I can't put anything in here, I can't do anything here. And that's where we got lost. This building here is amazing. This is great. This is exactly what we need to create. And you did this from your brain. I don't know what reference picture you used, but
No. Like those desert buildings, they were made from very specific pictures. Remember
I remember. But what I said is they're too small. These desert pictures. These aren't
actually
bad.
Let me clarify something. As humans, we can live in a closed box. And
In
as humans,
gameplay,
we
you
can live in
cannot.
dumpster bins. In gameplay, unless you're making an inaccessible area, i.e. environmental art as opposed to actual art, it's not the same. In game, you need a certain amount of space to do things. Assets take a lot more room up, because to manipulate a character to be able to walk by a bed and a cupboard, you need that space for the character to fit. In your real house, we can turn the character side. We can turn on our side and get into bed, even though there's shit all over the room. You can't do that in games because collision is not the same. So
the camera.
When you're designing things, you have to think about the collision aspects of when their house is populated, the camera angle when you're going in the walls, because suddenly you get those. If you ever looked at the really old Lara Croft games or the old Labyrinth games where you constantly got wall clipping and all that sort of things, and it's a huge issue for people to learn how to get good camera angles or make translucent walls, which is why we've got a lot of those things now, because people ran those issues before. So basically what Ryu's trying to say is there's nothing wrong with your buildings, but they're too small.
Correct. They don't have functionality. And that was where you were like, I don't want to do functionality. I just want to make it look pretty. And I'm like, no, fuck that. We need functionality.
Functionality is important for game, but it really comes down to you have to think about when you're designing, how is the character going to interact with it? How is it going to do something? If I put a bed in here, have I just taken up all the room? And that's the only thing you truly need to learn.
Correct.
Is
and so
how to be able to use the environment for actual gameplay.
Like, I'll give you a perfect example. This house is awesome. This layout is nice. What needs to happen is this needs to be extended over, and we talked about this. I told you this. This is my feedback. Extend this over, double its size, so that way this is a livable, usable thing. And then you could do the same thing for this other side over here and extend this bottom layer out a little bit. And that's how I modified your picture. And then we said we can have these like little top caps and whatever else, and that's perfectly fine. And then that's when we were talking about verticality and making this 2-story. And again, I'm probably sure I pissed you off, and then you were like, fuck it, and you just made everything like 8 high, and then we got frustrated, and then you're taking a break. So I'm saying is I like what you're doing, but it has to have functionality for the player. Otherwise, you can get it all out, like to your point that you said earlier, which is a good point. Hey, I just want to get some out, and I want to make sure everybody has it and it's available and blah, 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 blah. And you are not wrong, except for it's all going to have to be redone because it can't be playable. And that's not what I want, and I want to avoid that. So I would encourage, and what I'm trying to get across is you can come up with all the crazy designs you want and make it fun and enjoy that, but it has to be functional, bro. Like, if it's not functional, then it doesn't work. So this would be, if I'm just like fucking just spitballing this right now, this is the size that would have been for that little tower right there. Super big, has a nice little whatever, okay? So now you got 4 sized up. And then what I would do is because we had talked about having it be 8, now it's all up here. That's all I got to do. Make that bigger, make it 8, and keep that same building and everything else, and nothing had to change in my mind. So that's where I would go across. One last thing, and I'll let you guys go ahead. What you got?
Makes sense. Like you told me that the buildings were small and stuff. Like maybe the working on such like a small piece of the landscape of like in that piece of the environment, I feel like I'm like, you know, against the wall, so I kept making everything small because I said like I want this feeling of a town and I need a bunch of buildings, but I cannot make them too big because
That's true. But here, so I'll give you another example here, right? I don't think this feels small. Like, I could be wrong, but I don't think this feels small.
You have, like, if we count the individual houses or buildings, you have like less than the bunch of other ones I had, right?
Correct. But how many people are going to be per building, right? So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. I got 5 people staying in this building, and it's got like a stupid room in the bottom. And I got maybe 10 people staying in this building. This building has 4 floors, maybe let's say 5 per floor. So now you're looking at 20. This is 40. We're not going to have fucking 110 NPCs actively in this entire plate. We're not going to have it. So we have 100 NPCs that can live here because of how we've built this city and how it is. So again, I'm not arguing your thought process.
I think I realize, and this actually continues to the same thing of gameplay and functionality. And this is an essence of games. Games are not, in any sense of the word, reality. They are suggestive of aspects of reality because they cannot be reality.
I had 278 views on the vertical, by the way. What the fuck, bro?
When you populate a room in a game, even the most complicated rooms like GTA or anything like that, they cannot populate towards reality because reality overwhelms the ability of the game for you to interact with the room. So you have to have elements that are suggestive of reality enough that people feel familiar and say, this is a bedroom, I understand it, these are the purposes. As to the actual how much of level of detail you go, that's up to the individual game developer. But you have to have just the basics to suggest it, and the rest is environmental.
Yeah, that makes sense. The thing that I think that made the building so small is that I was trying to go for the illusion of a town, which means like a bunch of buildings, separate buildings.
I have no problems with that, except the illusion of a town is the words you said right there, and that's what killed it. Because from a gameplay perspective, you need to be able to actually go into that town and do things. If the illusion aspect is there, and I know what you mean from a concept artist, it's not saying it's an illusion.
We are doing slums, and I have a very small piece of land to work on, so let me just build a bunch of small little buildings, to make that illusion of a bunch of...
Got a weird question for you. Who has more children, poor people or rich people?
Probably poor people.
No, so you made really small houses for them. Come out! 60 rabbits come out. Yeah, no, it's the idea is you have a certain amount of suspension of disbelief because you're actually in games. When you're thinking from an environmental point of view, you've got to understand the nature of the types of characters that might be in there to give a suggestion, all those sorts of things. So I understand what you're saying, that poor having more houses and all of those sorts of things, and to a degree you can huddle more houses tightly and all that sort of thing. But often verticality can be used. I mean, we're now in a modern society and poor people are being shoved into more vertical structures, which is why you get your housing estates and all of those sorts of things, which is just apartment block after apartment block. Now, obviously, we don't want to go that extreme, but the idea is, how do you create an environment that basically feels jammed, but at the same time, we're not trying to make it too jammed because we actually need that gameplay to happen. If it's too jammed, your character's not going to be able to go anywhere. One of the big things in a lot of the Metro games is they have all of these buildings, skyscrapers around you, and not one.
Metro.
Sorry, coughing. Not one is accessible. Sorry, I was coughing. You have all of these buildings built around you that are environmental art that have no gameplay whatsoever because they cannot do it.
You mean Metro Exodus?
Which game, sorry?
By Metro, like what game you are referring to?
No, Metropolitan, not Metro the game.
Okay, Metropolitan. Okay.
Have you played Division?
Division? No, let me check it out.
Okay, basically it's a first-person shooter. The vast majority of buildings in there cannot. Yeah. it cannot be, vast majority of the buildings cannot be entered. Now, part of that's obviously for performance issues because you don't actually want every part of the fucking game. But we're a low poly game. You can actually have everything kind of accessible, except where we deliberately don't want it accessible. So we have to think of the scale of the character. We have to think of their ability. And then at the same time, we have to think about how we environmentally decorating these houses, where you put ivy in there, when you put, beds. How does that affect the player's ability to navigate inside a room? If it's too small, it just doesn't happen.
Yeah. That makes sense. It's just that I got how do you say it? I got kind of like caught in that space.
Oh, no, and to be honest, that's why it all got ripped out. It's not because you were wrong. The style and everything you were doing, the ideas are all good. There's no complaints in any sense of that. Do you understand? There's nothing wrong with your work in that respect. Or individually, we might say, oh, that flag should be upside down, but that's just tweaking bullshit, and that happens later. It was about the fact that my character goes into this house and then he's stuck. I have to use the auto unstuck feature because the instant it's populated, I have no ability to move. We can't afford to have every house suddenly be an auto unstuck feature because it's too small. So it's literally you died from a gameplay point of view, not because of what you were doing in terms of making them look pretty. Do you understand?
Yeah. Okay, so moving forward, like, what do you think?
Which is why your villas didn't get wiped out, because you can actually play through them. They could be tweaked a little here and there, but the reality is that the character can fit through the doors. The character can go through. They're large enough to put pieces in there.
So
do you see the difference?
Yeah.
So what do you think the next step is going to?
Let's do that. I think that's an important factor, and I think we've got a good base to work from to get there, right? So here's how this should go. You are better than me. I want to make sure you understand that, okay? You have skill sets that I don't have, and I'm able to get this to where it's at right now. I believe that you can do this too. And I think the reason why you weren't able to do it before is because you skipped a step. This is the reason why the blockout is important. If you're saying, hey, I felt this is, what do you want to call it? Claustrophobic. I want you to have the freedom to modify all of this. So if you need to extend this out and you need to create more space, okay? If you need to level this out and say, hey, I don't want this high, I want you to level this space. Your job is to make this look good and playable. That is what your job is. So whatever you have to do to make that happen, I'm not going to get mad at you and be like, no, I expected it, blah, 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 blah. Now, if I said, hey, for example, I want a harbor here, and then you put a fucking harbor over here, unless I like it a lot, we're going to have problems. So that's where we would have a differentiation. But I've said multiple times, and I'll reiterate now, I don't care what you do here, as long as it works. You can get rid of the side of the house. You can extend this out. You can cut down this mountain. You can add a whole section of the island if you need to. All I want is a harbor town that matches what we talked about. And what we talked about is it needed to have a market. It needed to have an arena. It needed to have the docks. And then it needed to have some room for the houses. And we said slums. But I want you to understand that slums doesn't mean individual, like, little shanties. Like, even
just call it horror working class. It's the working class level.
However you want to do that. But what I'm saying is those people that live in the lower class of living, yeah. Oh, Jarminx. Hey, man, how's it going? Those people who live in the lower class of living have multiple ways that they can have lower class living. And one of those ways that you can do that with this space is through verticality and through crampedness. It's no different than Japan. It's called a concrete jungle for a reason. They don't have a lot of space, and they just basically build the shit up. Okay? So
and bums in real life have mobile phones. So the
Jesus
reality
Christ.
is poor doesn't necessarily mean you don't have the trappings
Yeah.
of modern life. Space is often one of the big things.
So
But you just need to make it so there's enough space to feel claustrophobic, but at the same time still be able to move the character around.
So if we're doing this, right, and you're, let's say we're not redoing this again, because I think I like this layout, I like where we're at.
That's another thing I wanted to mention. Like, dude, it concerns me a little bit. Like, you wiping stuff all the time from scratch, and it's okay. Like, like, because as long as you're not, how do I put it? Like, I don't feel mad about like you deleting not using the buildings I made, because they're pretty cool and I can use them for other projects or improve upon and so on. So it's not lost work, it's an asset that I can use for other stuff, like I'm doing in the sci-fi project, like so that's cool.
There's nothing wrong with your buildings, just make them bigger versions.
But what I'm
Keep going.
like
Let him
concerned
talk.
about is like I see you changing a lot, like your mind on things and like wiping stuff. So it's like and it's fine, because like again I was like in another step. I was like thinking like, okay, now it's time to actually solidify stuff, but I think like we are still on the ideation stage.
Correct. Which is why what I'm getting across is the important part that's being missed. You have to have the block-in phase. The reason why things are getting killed and destroyed is because you're skipping the blocking phase and you're going straight to detail phase. These all right here are detailed. You spend an entire stream making sure that all of these were matched up and lined up and good to go. I don't give two shits if these are matched up and lined up. I have stuff that's like overlapping itself and in on itself and claustrophobia and everything else. The point of this is to block in as much as you possibly can and then say, hey Ryu, I think this is good. What do you think? And then that should look like, the first version should look something like the block in, like what we talked about. Hey, this is where I believe the tower is going to be. This is where an arch is going to be. And you need to do what is called the most minimal viable product of what it is that you are doing. I don't care that it has windows. Like, the windows don't matter. I don't care that it has these little set dressing special I can't get to it right now. These little tiny nooks and things, like, none of that matters. And what you've done is you've put time and effort into making them look pretty, which is great, but it doesn't matter because those aren't approved. They aren't the right height. They aren't right anything. So all the time that you spent making this look amazing is absolutely pointless. And that's why you feel the way you feel, is because you're like, mother effer, I made this thing and we're not using it. Well, that's because it doesn't match the layout. You have to get the layout done first. So this is not your fault over here, by the way. This is my fault because we were talking and we decided that
We did that on stream.
This needed to be something else, right? So that's not your fault. What I would say is
it's fine. It's fine. I like the water facility idea. It makes more sense.
So what I would say is, what we need to do is, if you want to do the quickest thing and get this out as quick as possible, I need you to block it out at the simplest version possible. Make sure the player can walk, make sure they can get where they need to get, and do all those other things. And then when you have a blocked out thing that you think makes sense and looks good, so again, if you watched 3 streams ago when I first started this, I think it's stream number 10, it might have been stream number 9, this is what I did in the stream. I put out these blocks. I said, okay, this is going to go here. I want this to be this high. I'm going to put this here. I'm going to put this here. I'm going to put that there. And then I jumped in. I checked view. I checked sight lines. I checked everything else. And I even changed it a little bit more once I got in here and I started looking at it and was like, oh, okay, this makes sense. Either way, the point is that you need to have this block out. That's what you need to do. That is the part that you're missing. Give me a block out.
Duplo first, then Lego.
Yeah, that's actually a really good way to say it. It's different than what you've done with these other things. Like, so for example, right? This was another process, and to be honest, I'm just going to be real with you. We're going to have to gut this because there's way too many rocks, and we kind of talked about that. But you created very good structure, and this is a really good layout with a really good sightline. So technically, all I have to do is replace rocks. Everything else is staying the exact same. The layout is staying the exact same. I just have to replace rocks, so that way we're not, 5 billion tries and quads that are chilling around, because that's what we got in here.
Yeah. Maybe make rocks specific to that shape.
Correct. Same for your mine. Your mine is very, very good. It's very, very organized. The shape matches. It's got good structure. Now, what we could have done here, because again, you successfully did it, right? So there's not, I don't want to take away from that. But what could have been done first is you blocked it out. Now, what you did is you created all of these bridges, and you put them through, and you checked out if they made sense and all this other stuff. And I'm not knocking that if that's how you wanted to do it, but this should have been a blockout. And then said, oh, okay, this is good, and this blockout works, and now, but I'm done. A good example of this is over here in the dungeon. This dungeon has been reworked probably 15 times. And every single time we make a change that, because of playtesting, the playtester got lost over here or got confused over here, or they didn't know how this trap worked, and they were like, okay, how does this trap work? Why am I confused over here? So we had to change this block out, and we had to change the level and everything else so that it had better flow and better structure for the playtesting. Here's where this is important and why I'm bringing it up.
We still got to sit down and do the right-hand side of that, by the way.
Correct. We haven't playtested this fucking level over here, bro. I have no clue how bad this is going to be, what people are going to get lost in when we have a quest here or two. So to come in and already say we have all of it designed and everything else, we don't want that. We want to block in, and I want the entire thing blocked in. So if you want to be successful, in my eyes, obviously in your eyes too, I'm not saying my eyes are the only eyes that matter, I need blockouts. That is all I need.
There's something about Ryu's streams you may not have picked up on, but when you see Ryu playtesting levels, he's actually working the model around. He's running along the paths and all of those sorts of things. Half the time he's floating in the air like a idiot, but you will actually see him on the ground levels going through the things. That's him actually checking dimensionality against the gameplay. That's how he makes tweaks to his models as he goes, because he'll run into a corner and says, well, that's not fucking working. I think that's something that you don't necessarily do, Unreal.
I don't know if he does or not. No, he play tests sometimes, but I think
I haven't got it.
I think he play tests. This is just my observation. You play test with the idea of what looks good, and you do that very well. Again, you do that very, very, very well. Where we're running into the problem is, again, it's the blockout phase. I'm telling you, that's all it is. If you can get the blockout phase down, then we'll be fine. And this is a prime example. These are all blocks. These are not special models. I didn't design them. All they are is they're a cube, and in the cube seems to be up to freezing. Last refresh, it was just under 4,000 skip frames. See, that's the part is I don't understand. I have 0 skip frames here.
Yeah, I've got no issues.
Are you watching Twitch?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know, bro. Maybe try a VPN or something. Because I'm looking at it right now. I'm pushing 7 bit rate with 0 drop frames. So as far as
at best you're a second and a half behind.
Yeah. I'm sorry, man. That sucks. I really wish. Look at it on YouTube. Go on YouTube, see if it's just as bad. Anyways, these are all blocks. That's all they are. There's no models here. There's no nothing. It's just blocks. There's missing sections. I don't care about that if I can jump over it. It's just blocks. And what this does is it helps for me to see the shape. It helps for me to see the design, and it helps for me to know that this makes sense. Okay, this is 3 characters wide. Nah, you're good. I'm fine. I just wanted you to be aware. Most viewers won't say a peep about it. Well, you are a scholar and a gentleman, Jarminx. Thank you very much. This is 2 wide, right? And there's no wide on the backside, and I was okay with that. So here's what I would want you to do. We talked about this already, and I'm not going to touch this. I think I want you to design this town right here. It's small. There's nothing big. It's nothing crazy. Create this level layout over here, okay? And then make like what you were kind of working on in here that's in the water somewhere. I don't know where the fuck it's at. Somewhere. It's somewhere over here. Oh, there it is. Hey, look, it's an underwater
There is
town.
one
That's actually
specific.
kind of cool.
There is one specific character in that town. He's the old man scientist. You need to make sure that if you're designing it, that the old man scientist is catered for. He's the one that basically puts you on the backpack quest, and will do various things.
So he has a basement, and this is his house, and here's the basement. So
hey, if he redesigns it, might not be his house.
Well, okay, sure, but in my mind, where I had wanted him was here. You could put him wherever you want. You could put him up here. I don't care. Have fun. But this is what I would do. I would use this town to come up with a block out. And you can get rid of this building, and you can get rid of the church. I don't need those. You can modify the mountain as much as you need to. What we need is, or what has to stay is, here's the bridge. I got to get inside the town. I need to get to the villa, and then I need to go from the villa to the mine. That is the only thing I need, and I showed you that in the drawing. Past that, go block this out, modify the terrain, do whatever you've got to do to make this look good with the block out phase first. Okay?
But don't touch the villa.
Yeah, no, don't touch the villa. You can touch all this other shit. I don't care.
I was gonna say, you can move it if you're changing the size of the town and all that sort of thing, but don't actually make any changes to the villa.
And you can extend this out. You can modify this out. You can change this entire shoreline. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, it sucks. But either way, let's test it out here. Let's create this. So what I need from this location, we have the training center. I need a building specifically for the mad scientist. I would like a church, a small chapel, doesn't need to be big. We need a quarry building. They need a granary, and then they need like a tower entrance here. It doesn't have to be two. I have two. It can be just one. They need a tower entrance. Past that, you can add whatever else you want. You can add in little tiny buildings. You can do whatever you want. I don't care. Cool?
But if you can think of something to add that will lend itself to gameplay, like you can think of a quest, just yell at me and I'll give you some advice. And say, yeah, we'll use it, we won't use it.
And with this first level, the easy way to kind of think about this is the player is stuck here, right? And the reason why I've designed this villa the way I've designed it is they can see all the cool things around them without leaving this villa. So I can see all the cool towers that are over there. I can see there's some towers over there. And I go over here and I see there's some buildings over there. And then there's this really cool whatever the hell that is over there. And I'm like, oh my God, there's some really cool shit. I want to get out of here. So you either A, do the quest, or B, you just press the F button and get the hell out of there. But that's kind of the point, is it's designed to be centrally located, and the sight lines are supposed to give you all kind of the important areas that you might want to go and walk to. That's the reason why I designed it with such low walls, and in the center. Make sense?
Yeah, let's see what 1 minute is this, so I can take notes on this.
Yeah, we're at 3 hours and 31 minutes.
Alright, the only NPC that's basically been decided in that area is the old scientist. Every other
That's not
NPC
true.
is complete.
That's not
What
true.
else?
We have
What else
3
you got in
NPCs.
there outside of the villa?
He doesn't
Outside
care about
of the villa.
NPCs, but we do have 3 NPCs. So you
What
have
are they?
you have Namias, which is your Del Torre, and then you have Brutus,
And what is
which is the champion.
What is Namias? They're in the villa, he's not touching that.
What? I'm just saying.
Outside the villa.
I don't care about outside the villa.
Yeah, there's one NPC outside the villa that's fixed. That's the old scientist.
God, that's great.
I got a DM from this artist who, I mean, these people who are offering like 10,000 services and they claim to be an expert, but they spell things wrong.
Well, no, you have to accept the fact that we're a global world now when people don't know how to
No.
speak English very well.
Hell no, that's not it.
Doesn't mean you're not being scammed.
It's like,
but
homie, just Google it and autocorrect your message. Come on.
Correct. There's AI now, bro. Like, you know, the funny part is I get I got a message on X. I get messages all the time, and they're like,
It's
"Hey,
like-
I see you have a game project. Would you like me to do your art for your game project?" And I'm like, "Bro, did you look at my profile for 4 seconds? It's all art. No, I don't need you for my project. Thank you."
It's and they say that like I'm an expert in animation, UI, and like 10,000 things, and you're like, all right, okay.
Well, I guess I get. Well, that being said, I'm probably one of my jokes that I have is I call myself a full stack. I call myself a full stack artist. I'll show you the thread. Where's it at?
Let me see if I get the okay, I'm a freelancer and a 3D expert in 3D character modeling, sculpting, rigging, texturing, animation, and UI design. UX and UI design. It's like, dude, come on, brother. Like, it's
Yeah.
impossible to be an expert on all those areas.
Well, I mean, that's what I look. So mine says modeling, rigging, weighting, animation, level design, materials, particles, VFX, 2D art, UE texture, UI and texture, sound design, voiceovers, blueprints. But I wouldn't call myself an expert, but I'm probably better than 70% of people on all that.
Damn, I think the rabbit is angry. He's biting my.
Yeah,
My-
rabbies are no fun, bro.
It's like, dude, shut up. It's time to sleep.
Where are you located, Unreal?
What is it?
He said,
Where are you located?
I'm Costa Rica. I'm visiting my parents right here, right now. So I'm.
No, it's all right. I didn't actually know where you in the world were. So when you were talking about time, I know Ryu's late, so I figured you were on a similar time.
It's 1:20 a.m.
Yeah, he's 1 hour before me.
Yeah,
He
see,
gets
it's only 6:20 p.m. for me.
Must be nice.
So okay, just to recap super quickly, I think that the next step will be to just to make, I think, the most effective thing. I mean, the thing that could help the most the project is like a super like speedy block out. You know,
Yep.
like what we were. I mean, I think we talked about this before. Like super quick, like speedy block out. So maybe like something I can get done in like maximum an hour, and then save that into a folder, and maybe make another option, and like come up with different like options.
I can understand that to a degree, but only do that at your really rough workout stage where you're literally only taking 5 minutes to create that shit. Don't create 16 options of hyperfine detail and then present it to Ryu, because you're just going to kill yourself if you do that.
Yes, like simple things that will take me maybe like half an hour maybe, and then I'm like, okay, this feels good, let's try another one, and then I can present those and be like, okay, until I get this reviewed, I can continue.
Alright,
So
but
I
there's
think that's great.
Yep.
What I would say is I want you to go to this main level area, and I want you to delete my buildings so that way you can feel like what I have done to you. Okay. So you can come over here. I want
At
you
the
to
villa,
delete-
do not delete the villa.
Yeah, don't delete the villa, but you can delete everything else. I want you to delete everything. I want you to. That's like you're not gonna complete your contract unless you delete all these buildings. Okay, I'm gonna watch your stream as you delete them. And then once you delete them, do what you just talked about, because I do think that that's good. But don't create a whole new level. Shut up.
Hey,
No,
if he does it, I just sit there and laugh.
no, and then put them in folders. Yes, and I wouldn't make like 15 iterations. I would do 3, and then let's link up together. You know what I mean? That's like, let's say if you took an hour for each one, that's kind of, I think that's a reasonable block out. You thought about it. It makes sense. Blah 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 blah. So that's 3 hours. That's one of your streams, and then we can sit down and we can say, okay, let's take a 30-minute to an hour to talk about it, and I'll give you feedback and say, yes, this makes sense. No, I don't like this here. Add this, make this double high, whatever, and then you do that. And to be honest, I would also encourage you to use that cube, whatever the heck it was called, the cube mesh. Is that what it's called?
A cube grid.
Yeah, there you go. That thing is fast as fuck, bro. So you might even be able to like do, I don't know, you could probably do 10 or 15 iterations. That was super fast.
No, I think like three iterations. It's I think it's good enough because then like I will come up with like very crazy stuff if I do more than 3 iterations.
Yeah.
I don't mind crazy stuff if it's actually kind of works, but at the end of the day, you're looking at the fact of what you have right here is the starting area of the game where actual gameplay comes in, ignoring all the cutscenes and everything that come before, which are irrelevant to this. So you start your character here. The buildings surround it are like your initial starting town. What use do they have? What utility? Are they going to be environmental? Or are they going to be interactable? What type of NPCs? Do the NPCs inside the villa live inside the villa, or are they going to move out to the little houses outside?
Yeah.
Do you understand what I mean?
Just
only
work
thing
through
that
the idea.
work through the idea of this as your starter town. You have to go back for an earlier video to look at gameplay, though. I think you've seen him do the gameplay of the start a number of times, so you should have a familiarity or already what it feels like. Just remember, the old scientist is the only thing that matters.
That is correct. This little building that has to have a basement is the only thing that matters for that town. Everything else is already
do whatever you want
done.
with it.
But yes, I would. This is the starting thing. This is probably the most important part of the demo because this is where they're gonna see this, and this is gonna be their experience. You know, so have them start here. You're gonna have to fly, by the way, because you can't use the door right now. I'm gonna yell at Mester to get interactions working for the door. But this is where you start. This is what you got.
I am not joking.
And so you're gonna see all of whatever that is over there. And when you're doing your sight lines and you're thinking about everything, that's kind of what you're trying to create is.
Do you have your resurrection saver outside?
Yeah.
That doesn't have the resurrection saver. You can move around. You just need to remember it's one of the first things that people need to do after they get outside the gate of the villa. But it doesn't have to stay in that place.
It doesn't have to stay here, but it needs to be somewhere here. Because
Yeah, from a gameplay aspect, it's kind of one of the first things they need to do.
Yeah, they get out of here, and then they need to see it. Wherever that is, I don't fucking know.
But for funsies, you could use it to block the gate, so when Mester fixes the gate, they're still stuck.
No. Anyways, hopefully that helps. I think that's probably our best bet. It's small. It's not super crazy, so you're not going to spend a crap ton of time doing it, and then when I come in and brick it up, it'll be destroyed. What I can do is give you some feedback on this real quick, so that way we're on the same page, okay? Because I think that this is good, but if I don't give you feedback, then you might replicate this, and then we're going to have problems. So give me like 4-5 seconds to give you some feedback on that. Is you cool with that? He already went to bed. He's like, fuck you. F you, Ryu. Okay. Well, if you're watching this later, the feedback part is going to be at 3 hours and 41 minutes. So my issue is this is too tall. This is like, I don't know, maybe 4, 5, 6 players tall. I think this is way too tall, especially for what we've got going on. If you look at the one that I created right here, it's not too bad. It's basically, this is 1, 2, 3. I think 3 is probably pushing it. This might be 4 or 5. I can't really tell. It's pretty big. So I would reduce the size of that, maybe down to 3 characters tall. And then the buildings, again, this is a starter town. So I wouldn't go crazy with these buildings right here. They need to be kind of basic. And they can still kind of do what this is doing, but they need to I actually like them. Maybe I just don't like this middle part. I don't know. I don't like that it's like disjointed like that. I think that's what it is. So I'm okay with the buildings more or less with their shape. I think I would not like the fact that it's, oh wait, that's a staircase. Okay, that's fine. Okay, that's fine because that's a staircase. That's fine. So Oh, okay. No, what's not fine is there. I can't do anything inside. So the staircase is good, but there's absolutely no room for anything inside. There is this cool built like place over here, so I would probably connect these with like a wall or something, and then you can just walk over top of the wall to the other part of the thingy.
Yeah, I think. Well, taking it one step backwards. I mean, one step back. I think that using just the cube grid or just simple cubes, I think it's best.
100%. I agree.
Not thinking too much about like the buildings themselves, like the interiors and stuff.
Don't
Kinda
think
like
about
get
interiors, but think about size. Does that make sense? Okay. Yeah, that's all you need to worry about. Like, I don't care about interiors yet. That's second phase, but I do care about size. So if you make something too small, then it's not going to make sense. Cool. So ideally back here is where you're going to have here in this little area right here is where you're going to have the this little villa portion, and then you can replace and delete all of these, and then replace and delete these, and have fun with making like a little quarry. When I created this one, I thought, you know, here's the quarry, there's like the elevator where they can bring stuff up, and here's like a little staging platform for long-term stuff, and this is maybe where the guy who keeps track of it all sits, and then here's the admin office that you walk into, and then that's just how you get upstairs. So that would be like a storage room. It's kind of what I was designing and thinking about for it. It could be a little bit bigger, but I kind of made the smallest version that fit the space. But this is you now, so come up with whatever you want. Get rid of this. Just make sure that we have a granary and some wheat, because I want to be able to have a wheat farm here to justify everybody in the town.
Okay.
Yeah, all you, boss.
3:30. I think you said all the components. Okay.
3:30 is where we started talking about, yes.
Okay.
And 3:41 is where I gave you the 5-second hints. Otherwise, have fun.
All right.
And
let's try.
modify the terrain, bro, if you need to. Okay, modify the terrain.
Okay. That sounds good. Okay, I'll give it a try to see.
I believe in you. Oh shit, my monitor has been on for too long. I think that's a thing telling me to get off. It's literally about ready to shut off, and it's gonna be shut off for 10 minutes. Okay, well, I'm gonna cut the stream then. Thanks everybody. Bye.
All right, have a good night. Yeah, I'm also going to bed. All right, good night.